This is Johns Manville, built on experience, guided by people who believe every detail matters. We manufacture commercial roofing systems with purpose, combining performance, protection, and long-term reliability. From the science behind our products to the trust earned on every job, we focus on what lasts and what comes next. Steady leadership, proven performance. Johns Manville Commercial Roofing Systems.
Welcome back in. Kyle Ashworth just got introduced onto the field. He's the number 9 batter, which means it's only Jared Ingman to step out there before the national anthem is sang live in-house. So I will send it down to the field now as you hear our national anthem live in stadium. First pitch on the other side of the national anthem.
Is an independent original artist who has traveled to 46 states, playing live music along the way for 5 years, and a recent winner of the Paddleheads Got Talent contest. He now resides on the outskirts of Glacier National Park, doing what he can to bring forth a positive and uplifting future for the next generation and generations to come. Please rise if you're able and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem. Oh, she can hear she by dawn's early light. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous shine. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, cedars that star-spangled banner wave. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our national anthem sang live in stadium on Montana Army National Guard night here. You saw the beautiful big flag in the middle of the stadium as it is Range Riders watching the flag make their way off now. Range Riders Paddleheads coming right up. The matchup going into its 90th edition tonight, as we continue to wait for the flag to be taken off the field by our Montana Army National Guard troops that have joined us here this evening. And now, fully off the field, we will get set for baseball. Let's go through the defense for the Glacier Range Riders. It's Julian Sauger that will be behind the plate, catching the balls and strikes. Tommy Rover over at third base, while at shortstop, it's Jacob Steele. Logan Beard plays second base for the Glacier Range Riders. And Edric Felix, for the first time, starts at first base. We've only seen him at third defensively. Jake Millen is in left field. J.D. McLaughlin in center field. And Kyle Ashworth, the right fielder for Glacier. That defense will be playing behind starting pitcher Jared Ingman, who makes another start in a Range Rider uniform, his second of the season. He's a long-tenured Range Rider, as he has been with this club since the 2024 season. That spring, he finished up his career at the University of Washington. Over 3 years at the University of Washington, he made 43 total appearances, 43 total starts, and 2 appearances out of the pen. Had a lifetime 5.24 ERA with the Dogs. And with the Range Riders over 3 seasons, he's started now a total of 23 contests, or I guess it'll be made official his 23rd start when he fires the actual first pitch into the contest. This season, he had his first appearance out of the pen as a bullpen option when he was just coming off the IL, and he allowed 2 earned runs in that appearance. But his last start last year, he was really solid. Sent 6 up, 6 down, seemed really confident on the bump against a pretty bruised and battered Oakland Ballers squad, who, after last night, I don't even know what to think of the defending champions. Play ball has been set, and we are ready to do just that on Montana Army National Guard night. The Range Riders repping the regular Sunday camos. They're repping it on Saturday night here. Camo tops with Range Riders across the front. Green caps for Glacier on the other side. Missoula is in gray pants, gray tops. As Ingman prepares to fire the first pitch, and he does. Just below the strike zone, count goes to 1-0. We are underway at 7:08 p.m. And it is 59 degrees and sunny. Some clouds in the sky, but not directly over top of us, so hopefully it stays that way. The 1-0 pitch from Ingman, who has a long pause on the bump, and just before the pitch clock expires, he fires it into the zone. 1-1. Home plate umpire tonight is Matt Beaver. Mike Green is over at first base, and Travis Schatzman is the third base umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike into Bermudez. Fouls it off. Count goes to 1-2. Bermudez on the season batting .369, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs. Swing and a miss. Bermudez punched. Look back at the failed fishing attempt by the leadoff batter Bermudez. Great start by Jared Ingman. Ingman approaches the mound with a certain swagger, and when he is pitching very well, you can see him feeling it on the bump. Swing and a miss as Klemp was nowhere near that one. Klemp, this is a battle between 2 greater Seattle area kid. Ingman from south of Seattle proper, Kent, Washington, and Klemp from north of Seattle proper, Everett, Washington. Downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ingman went to Tacoma Community College. Tacoma also south of Seattle, if you didn't know. Tacoma, fairly fueled by the military base near there, as his account goes 2-1. Joint Base Lewis McCord, JBLM, which is just south of Tacoma, Washington. Felt apt to mention on Montana Army National Guard night. 2-1 pitch into Klemp. Swing and a miss. Klemp, 2 years ago, a Boise Hawk. Last year, a Missoula Paddlehead. University of Portland Pilot. So, again, like Jared Ingman, from the Seattle area, and played at a PNW school that wears purple. not too far apart. Klemp and Ingman, but of course on the opposite side of the Mission Mountain matchup rivalry series tonight. Two balls, two strikes, one out, top of the first, just underway here in the Flathead Valley. Great turnout already tonight. Fans continuing to file in. As Ingman sets on the bump, the 2-2 into the designated hitter, Klemp. It is a called strike three. Klemp doesn't want to challenge this early, but he would have stayed alive if he would have given a tap of the head. Now Enzo Apodaca to the plate. Look at his placement here and judge for yourself. Give that to Sauger because he framed it pretty well. Of course, Ingman gets credit for it, most primarily. But if you're keeping track on the unwritten chart. 0-1 count, 2 outs, top of the first inning. Ingman and Apodaca. Oh, 1. Up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's funny, Jared Ingman, I mean, he had his worst outing of the season last year against the Missoula Paddleheads, and he had his best outing the next start against the Missoula Paddleheads. The 1-1, swing and a miss. And the contrast is absolutely staggering between those two games. As we see the 1-2 pitch into Apodaca. Hit foul. Hard, but foul. As I'm looking back to those games in succession against the succession, I think actually, against the Paddleheads. The first start was here at Glacier Bank Park. He went 2 1/3, allowed 10 earned runs on 9 hits. The 1-2 pitch. Call the ball just outside. And the next start he had was in Missoula, which is a hitter-friendly park, compared to here, which is a pitcher-friendly park. And he went 7 innings, 2 earned runs, and had 8 punch-outs. Called strike 3. Apodaca sent down, and a skip and a hop sends Jared Ingman to the Range Rider dugout. It is 3 up, 3 down for Ingman. We head to the bottom of the first. Range Riders and Paddleheads all tied.
Welcome to Magoo & Company, a third-generation family-owned business nestled in the heart of downtown Whitefish. We offer a dazzling array of diamonds, ethically sourced Montana sapphires, and captivating custom designs that capture the essence of Montana's natural beauty. From jewelry design and appraisals to cleaning, repairs, and gemologist consulting, your satisfaction is our priority. Experience the magic of Magoo & Company and discover the perfect piece to celebrate life's special moments.
Welcome back in. Reminder of the Range Rider lineup is McLaughlin, Beard, Millen, Ratfield, Rover, Steele, Felix, Sauger, Ashworth. The defense behind the Paddleheads is Feliciano, the catcher, Casarella at third. Piotkovich is the shortstop, Yukamoto at second base. Tyler Stone is a big first baseman. The outfield from left to right, is Bermudez, Berry, and Apodaca. Day off for the one position player available, Kazuski, and I'm sure it won't actually be a day off. I'm sure he'll be utilized in some sense or the other as J.D. McLaughlin takes the pitch about a ball outside, and it's called a strike. We're getting an expanded strike zone, and I'll tell you what, we had a long game yesterday, so it's not unappreciative. As that one also outside. But a called strike, the 0-2. Jared Ingman got calls in the top half. It's at least consistently shaky, this strike zone. Ball up and away. Starting pitcher for this Missoula Paddleheads squad is the left-hander, Jaron Jackson. University of New Mexico product, playing in his hometown in his collegiate ball. Is this one down the right field line. Count stays at 1-2. Play originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and briefly appeared for Sioux City before suiting up for the Paddleheads. A ball low and away. Count goes to 2-2. On the season, an 11.57 ERA for Jackson. 11 2/3 innings pitched, 15 earned runs against, 8 strikeouts to 10 walks. Up and away, 3-2. And to be clear, Jaron Jackson is not a recycled career of the basketball player Jaron Jackson Jr. as this one popped up sky high into shallow right. Making the catch, looking a little bit shaky over there, waving that glove around is Apodaca. 1 out. I'm sure Jaron Jackson has to deal with the Jaron Jackson Jr. references constantly, but I'll talk about the pitcher. Or at least try to. Before playing for New Mexico, he went to Pima Community College, which is in Tucson, Arizona. Logan Beard sees a strike, and the count goes to 0-1. 2 years at New Mexico, he had 6 wins in total for the Lobos, 8.12 ERA, and 2 saves. Down low to Logan Beard. 2 years at Sioux City. He had a total of 46 appearances and 14 starts. 6.04 ERA in 2024, and last year pitched to a 5.29 ERA. Foul ball makes the count. 1-2. One ball, 2 strike pitch. A tapper. And it goes up in the air. During that last half inning break, Range Riders were excited to welcome back into the ballpark one of the greats for a Range Rider uniform. Outfielder and first baseman Chad Castillo, who's in the building. Chad Castillo, most doubles in a single season in Range Rider history, and maybe the more important number, most RBIs in a single season in Range Rider history. He had 89 in the 2024 season. Not only that, he does hold the elusive record, which is kind of an unofficial record because I haven't seen every TrackMan ever of a ball distance. It's just scraped a foul. Once again, Logan Beard. But he, I believe, has hit the longest home run in Range Rider franchise history, 516 feet in Great Falls, Montana during that 2024 campaign. Ball inside, 2-2 on Logan Beard. Two-two pitch into Beard. Fouled off again. We will stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long at bat here, 8 pitches already, the 9th of the AB into Beard, who will receive credit for a quality at bat. 2-2 once again. Flicks it into shallow right field. Apodaca charging, but he ain't going to get there. Ooh, single. by Logan Beard. Up comes Jake Millen, who'll bat from the right side. That's the side that he batted from in the home run derby a few days ago when he was able to hit 4 home runs that pushed the Range Riders to victory. You would assume maybe he prefers that side, and that's why he batted from that side. But I've asked him, and he said he really does not have a preference, and he does not know what side he naturally bats with because he's just always been a switch hitter. The reason why he batted from the right side in the knockout round was because unless the wind is blowing towards right field, it's much easier to hit long balls over the left field fence. So right-handed batters have an advantage. Pickoff attempt over to first. Beard read it all the way and is back in standing. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Into Jake Millen, batting .286, 4 home runs, tied for the team lead. Fouled off. Count goes to 0-2. Never been a big punch-out guy, Jaron Jackson. 52 strikeouts in 67 innings in 2024. And in 2025, 37 punch-outs in 48 innings. If there's anybody to cure the Range Rider sickness of strikeouts, it might be Jackson. Ball outside. We've seen it from both JD and Beard, who have a good amount of strikeouts. They both were able to fight off 2-strike pitches, and obviously it ended up as a flyout for McLaughlin. But he was not able to punch out Beard, and eventually Beard found something he could hit. Swing and a miss, and that was strike 2. I had that down as strike 3. As you can tell, he just struck me out mentally. They're all asking about it. They're all asking about it. Home plate umpire is saying 2-2. I'm glad I'm not going to be asked for this because I would not have played it off well. Millen, he is perfectly okay with saying, hey, wait, I mean, the problem is if they're saying 2-2, whew. Not only because the count was 1-2 from what I had. So not only is it not strike 3, it also, I believe they had added a ball somewhere in there, or maybe there was just a situation where there was a called strike and the umpire actually just meant ball, so he mentally, just never confirmed that. Swing and a miss. And the ball don't lie method applies to Missoula. Just another day in the PBL. Up comes Donovan Ratfield. 0-0 pitch into Rat. Below the zone, 1 ball, no strikes. I have 22 pitches right now for Jackson, but who knows if that's correct? Because I think I might have had to add a ball in there to make that count 2-2. But I guess the extra pitch that he might have had to throw to strike out Millen would work out for that phantom ball. So the pitch count might be right that I got at 22. The 1-0 pitch. Ratfield fouls it back. Ratfield top batting average on the team. Donovan Ratfield, 235, 2 home runs, 19 RBIs. This one hit on the ground towards short, fielded by Piotkovich, and the throw on time to first base for out number 3. We head to the second inning of play. It is 0-0 between the Paddleheads and the Range Riders.
When injuries occur, it can feel like your goals are out of reach. I'm Dr. Karen Purser, an orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist at Logan Health. If you injure a joint, muscle, or bone, our orthopedics and sports medicine specialists are here to help. Our highly specialized surgeons, clinicians, and physical therapists offer innovative treatments and the latest minimally invasive procedures to help you recover and return to activity faster and stronger so that you can reach your goal.
Welcome back here. It's the top of the second inning. Xavier Casarella leads us off and a called strike. In from his former teammate here with the Range Riders, Jared Ingman. Second-year Range Rider Jared Ingman. They played together for a good majority of season last year. The 0-1. Downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss by X. Count goes to 1-2. On the season, Casarella batting .333, 6 home runs, which leads the Paddleheads, and 18 RBIs. Fouled off. One-two pitch. Misses inside, nearly hit him. Two-two pitch in. Tapper. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Pitch from Ingman to Casarella. Inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff batter of this second inning. Pitch in, a tapper over towards second base where Beard will grab it and flip it to Felix. Good job by Felix to recover after he started to go to that one and realized it was going to be Beard's ball to grab. So you'll look back at the clean out at first. as Tyler Stone fouls off the first pitch. Stone on the season, .368 batting average, 2 home runs for Stone, 27 RBIs, which leads the squad. This one flared up to the sky. Foul ball, 0-2. Great Saturday night crowd here. The 0-2, 1-out pitch, top of the second. Called, strike 3, and a challenge coming from Stone, and it's a bad one to use. The walk of shame coming for Stone, who burns a challenge early. Second inning, 0-2 pitch, and over half that ball was in the zone. It was not even an edge scraper. Just a bad look of it, as Feliciano was not in the box and ready at 8 seconds. And Ingman had to fire that one quick because I don't think he got the sign in. Feliciano was not in there in time, and the umpiring crew didn't care. He was stepping in at 7 seconds, and that's what caused the rush for Ingman on the other side. This one upstairs. Count goes to 2-0. All credit to the first base umpire tonight, Mike Green, who last night punched out a guy on a pitch clock violation. 2-0. Headed out towards right center field, and it looks like it's the first hit of the contest as Feliciano heads into second base and gets there safely. A double by the catcher, and thus the importance of that first pitch ball kind of rears its head. England was behind when truly umpiring crew probably should have stopped it and made it 0-1. 2 outs, top of the second inning here. Leighton Berry, the center fielder. Zipped right down Main Street. 0-1 goes the count. The 0-1, 2-out pitch. Oh, 0-2. Ingman coming right back at the zone. Kind of the Brendan Beard method that allowed him to, other than that one inning he struggled, just go right after the Range Riders and keep his pitch count relatively low until late in the contest. The 0-2, pitch into Berry. Swing and a miss, a 3-pitch strikeout by Ingman. And despite the 2-out double, nothing against the former Washington Husky. We head to the bottom half of the second. It is Rover, Steele, and Edric Felix due up to the plate for the Range Riders.
In 1858, one man's ingenuity sparked a legacy. When Henry Ward Johns set out to rethink roofing, he built something that would last. That spirit carried forward in 1901, when Johns joined forces with Charles Manville, creating Johns Manville. For more than 160 years, through challenge and change, innovation and resilience have defined who we are. Today, Backed by Berkshire Hathaway, Johns Manville is trusted in the commercial roofing industry with systems built to perform.
Back in as Tommy Rover leads us off to bat from the right side. Rover on the season, batting .271, has 4 home runs, 21 RBIs for the Glacier Range Riders. Rover, Steele, and Felix all due up in this half inning. All of their batting averages right about the same, .271, .268, .286. That one's called a strike on the outside. Count goes to 0-1. Rover, California kid originally from Brentwood. That one called the ball. Count goes to 1-1. Just like Chad Castillo, who's in the building tonight, former Range Rider. That's called a strike at the bottom of the zone. I haven't kept official stats on it, but I think all-time home states of players, California is without a doubt for me #1. Ball upstairs and away. And then it's probably Georgia and then Texas. I'm thinking those are our top 3. But if somebody out there wants to pilfer through, he did not go. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wants to pilfer through the all-time stats or the all-time rosters. Feel free. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Bottom of the second. This one's sky high to left field. Routinely playable for Leighton Berry. Now #1. Wind blowing kind of steady out to center field. But not much more that's going to take a ball like that and rip it beyond the fence. Certainly over the offseason, we had some wind in the Flathead Valley. Oh, Nelly. There were some days, I remember one, that one's down low, where it was very windy and a little snowy as well. And I was driving home from somewhere at night. It was some of the most miserable driving I have had. 2 balls, no strikes. Asking for a new ball is Jaron Jackson. Jackson into Steele. 3 balls and no strikes. .30 is called a strike. That would have been an interesting one, where if Steele would have assumed they were calling a ball, he would have, and he would have taken a step towards first. I mistakenly said a week ago that the drop third strike rule is no longer in effect. I looked back in the rule book, and the drop third strike rule is technically still in the rule book. So if Steele, who doesn't do this, but some guys, when they see ball 4, they just immediately set their bat down and start running to first, start jogging to first. If he was that type and he started doing that and ran to first and declared himself a runner to first on the possibility of technically you can steal first base, then it would have been very interesting. I don't think our umpires would have even registered it. And it's ball 4 inside. In the end, Steele just sees more pitches. That ball, the 3-0 count that it was called a strike on that got away from the catcher that prompted all this discussion. It was technically a ball inside. But in the end, it just forces Jackson to throw more pitches. Ball 4 and a walk work to Steele. Edric Felix stepping to the plate, 2 for 7 on his young season. Almost got him inside. Count goes to 1-0. Originally from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Felix heading to Florida Gulf Coast University, which, you know, talk about Jaron Jackson, name of the starting pitcher, and also a very good basketball player. Florida Gulf Coast, good baseball program, but they are known for their basketball program. And the March Madness run they went on as a 15 seed about 10 years ago. Lob City, as it was a fun couple games to watch from those guys. Ball downstairs, 2-1. Just 1 year at Florida Gulf Coast for Felix after he finished a JUCO stint at College of Central Florida in Ocala, Florida. And 1 year at Florida Gulf Coast was absolutely insane. 25 home runs in 60 games. The 2-1 pitch into Felix. Called a strike. And a challenge coming from Felix. And Felix will lose the challenge there, and a little bit behind the other guys in terms of the IL stint that he had. And so still getting to know the ABS strike zone and when to use it, and that probably just wasn't the time. The 2-2. Both sides are down to 1 challenge remaining, and the kind of sad part about that is our home plate umpires struggle tonight to find the actual strike zone, and both sides have challenged the ones that have been called correctly. And so now they're just never going to do it again. This pickoff attempt over to first, kind of funky there. Try and keep him honest. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch coming in with a runner on first and 1 out into Edric Felix. Fouled off by Felix. RBI single for Edric when he was watching the position player Noah Blythe fire pitches in the Wednesday night win over the Ballers. 3-2 pitch. Once again, payoff into Edric Felix. Another pickoff attempt over to first. That's the second disengagement. If he makes another pickoff, he will have to walk, or he will get called for a balk and essentially walk steal the second. Foul ball again. Because of that, sometimes you see guys really try and attempt to throw, but note that they're going back to the bag the entire way. It's trickier to do with the lefty, just because they can flip that a little bit quicker to first base. And you see Steele having the presence of mind to scoot around a little bit. It's a called strike 3 into Felix, and he will head back to the dugout. Right at that lower part of the zone. Right at the knees there. Just caught him. Julian Sauger now stepping up with 2 outs and a runner on first and Steele. Low into Sauger. Sauger finally broke out of a slump to start the season when he got his first base knock a few nights ago. Ball makes the count 1-0. I am fearful to look at the Pioneer League scoreboard, just because I don't want to see that Billings is already up 10-0 after 2 innings. Called strike on a pitch that was, once again, outside. I don't know if the dimensions of home plate have changed tonight, but somebody's got to check on that. Because it seems like it's had a good 6 inches added to either side. The 1-1. Popped sky high by Sauger. In right center field, it will be the center fielder, Leightonberry to make the grab. Steele works a walk, but the Range Riders go down after a 24-pitch second inning. We head to the third, 0-0.
Numbness and tingling in the hand can make you lose your grip. Hi, I'm Dr. Nate Fogel. I'm an orthopedic surgeon and hand specialist here at Logan Health. Repetitive actions can lead to a condition called carpal tunnel. Left untreated, these symptoms can interfere with your daily life. Our fellowship-trained hand surgeons offer patient-specific care to help you regain control. Here's to getting a grip on life.
Top of the third inning, Range Riders tied 0-0 with Missoula Paddleheads. 8-9-1 due up for Missoula. Piotkovich, Yukamoto, and Bermudez. All right, I told myself I didn't want to check the scoreboard, but I'm going to check the scoreboard because that is my job. Red Pocket Mobiles lead the Long Beach Coast in the top of the seventh inning, 6-5. If you're a Range Rider fan, you will see the Red Pocket Mobiles as there's time called by somebody. No, Sauger's got something in his eye, maybe a little bit of the turf as he's dealing with it. If you're a Range Rider fan, at this point, you're pretty much rooting for the Red Pocket Mobiles every night except for when they play the Range Riders because their job right now is to play spoiler. They're 1-15. And unless something miraculous happens when they turn around their roster, maybe, or when they at least get their schedule reset to 0-0 at the halfway mark of the season, then maybe, just maybe, they might have a second half opportunity. But right now, it looks like their only opportunity is if they can take one, maybe two games in a 6-game series when they're playing against somebody, then it should be cause for a parade. I don't know where you would have the parade because they don't have a home stadium, but you know what I meant. This one, maybe a broken bat into shallow right field. A leadoff single by Piotkovich. In Great Falls, Montana, Oakland's got a lead, but as we've learned over the past 2 nights, that does not matter. Oakland, 2 straight nights of blowing a 4-run lead going into the 9th inning. And last night, it was a lead that was up to 10 that they were not able to come away with. 6-4, though, they lead in the bottom of the 4th inning in Great Falls. Piotkovich on first. Skipping in the dirt. Sauger with a good block as Yukamoto is ahead 1-0. Billings, they're up 2-1 over the Boise Hawks, and they are already in the top of the 5th there. That game is flying by. They started 30 minutes before us, but it's a defensive battle as the Range Riders probably appreciate the Hawks taking a game or two in Billings, especially just to knock those Mustangs down a peg, because right now they have not lost a game since the Range Riders beat them last Sunday. 2 Sundays ago, technically. 2-0 into Yukamoto. Called strike. 2-1. In Modesto, it is 4-2. Yuba Sutter leads Modesto. That's kind of a series where both those squads look pretty evenly matched. And I don't think anybody's going to kind of separate themselves from the others. 2-1 pitch. Hit on the ground. Beard, backhand, and kind of had to just swallow that one. It's out at first. It would have been 1 out as Piotkovich, ooh, he's holding the back of his right hammy. That is not a good sign for this Missoula squad that is down to the bones in terms of their roster of position players. That's Yukamoto, not Piotkovich, and he's in a lot of pain. I'm watching in the dugout. He is down trying to stretch that out. Is this one also to Beard, grabbed and thrown for out number 2. The brief Beard fumble on that last one, the main thing that it didn't allow for is a fielder's choice to get the lead runner. And now on that ground out to the right side of the infield, it's a runner on third, but whether that runner moved or not, it's an RBI opportunity for Nick Klemp, one of the best bats in this Missoula lineup. 2 gone into Klemp. Called strike. Count goes to 0-1. If Yukamoto, who was just down on the ground getting stretched out, he's not moving that right leg. Now he's laying on his front side on the bench in the dugout. That one blocked, but not enough. Wild pitch to score the run. And it is 1-0 Missoula. Broken little blooping single into right field and a manufactured run by the Paddleheads. Good job to take advantage of the leadoff batter. As you see, that pitch just never came off clean from Engman. And it got far away enough from the catcher in Sauger. So no RBI opportunity for Klemp unless he puts one over the fence. Bluffed the bat at that one, nearly got hit in the hands. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's 1 position player available for the Missoula Paddleheads. It is Michael Kazuski. Down low, 3-1. They also do have Bermudez listed as an infielder, and he's in the outfield right now. So if Yukamoto has to go out, it will be a very interesting little shuffle we'll see. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 3-2. Jimmy Costin listed on the roster for the Paddleheads, but seemingly not here after he was not performing as the bullpen catcher last night. And there's a called strike 3. Klemp goes down. Without that wild pitch, it's just another shutout frame for Engman, but instead, the wild pitch gets to the Range Rider starter for the first run of the contest. It is 1-0 Missoula at the bottom of the 3rd.
Thinking about where to host your next office event? Book the indoor event space at Glacier Bank Park. With a capacity up to 145 people, our indoor event space is a flexible, year-round venue ideal for accommodating receptions, conferences, and holiday parties. The spacious layout boasts impressive stadium and mountain views, providing the perfect setting for guests to mingle, network, and celebrate. Book your office party today at glacierbankpark.com.
Innovation has always been at the core of Johns Manville. From advanced testing labs to real-world job sites, we rethink what roofing can deliver. Through science, precision engineering, and decades of real-world experience, we engineer commercial roofing systems that deliver lasting performance. At Johns Manville, innovation means listening, learning, and building solutions that meet today's needs while preparing for what's next. This is progress with purpose.
Welcome back. Bottom of the third inning. Glacier Range Riders trail this contest by a score of 1-0. There's a called strike to Kyle Ashworth, final starter to see the plate for either side tonight. Ashworth on base percentage of .493 on the season. That one misses low and away. Mentioned Chad Castillo in the building tonight, former Range Rider, played high school baseball with Kyle Ashworth. So they got to see each other before this one. This one's hit over the right side through for a base knock from Kyle Ashworth. J.D. McLaughlin to the plate. McLaughlin 0 for 1. Flight out to right. Did J.D. Fouled off. Count goes to 0-1 for J.D. J.D. 275 batting average, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. This one up the middle, through for a base knock. J.D. has his first hit of the series. As Yukamoto is going to come out of this contest, it looks like. Man, they sent him back out there. And he cannot go. So now what happens? It'll be Kazuski to go into center field and bat in Bermudez's place.
Keep it going, Junior!
And then I believe the center fielder, Barry, will head to second base. I can't see the number on the back there. It is Bermudez. Okay, so Yukamoto will be replaced by the one position player they have available in the lineup, Kazuski. But Kazuski will go into center field. Bermudez will go to second base. And to left field goes Leighton Berry. And a thin bench for the Paddleheads gets even thinner, as now Yukamoto out, hopefully just precautionary for this contest. But you cannot have a second baseman who's only on one leg. As there's a bunt play. This is a perfect bunt down the line. Will it stay fair? No. Picked up and just flipped off to the side by Casarella. It was just foul, so the count goes to 0-1. A 1 count, no outs after the foul ball. An interesting situation for a guy like Bermudez to have to deal with after just coming out of the outfield and then having to look like they were running the wheel defensively, in case he has to go cover first base. 0-1 count, as I'm guessing Logan Beard will try and square and do the same thing. That was nearly a perfect bunt. I said it was perfect. It wasn't. Swing and a miss. And now the bunt play is off with 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Bottom of the third inning. A upstairs to Logan Beard. It's a big at-bat in this game. Beard has a single into right field, but a single here with speedy Kyle Ashworth on second base could certainly equalize this contest. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Tapper towards third. They're saying that he was off the bag at first. They are saying out at third and that Casarella was touching the bag when he grabbed that one. And I think we just got Michael Schlack ejected. Michael Schlack is getting his money's worth as he makes his way off. He keeps going after the umpire down the right field line. As a lot better angle from near first base than from down in the dugout. Schlack said something that was not to the taste of the umpiring crew, and they gave him a quick trigger to get out of here. I've seen a fair amount of Michael Schlack ejections in my time. He is certainly an umpire that will let the umpires, or I mean certainly a coach, manager that will let the umpires hear it. And usually it happens in a wave of frustration. And I'm assuming sometimes it's the scoreline. Like I've seen him get ejected when games just aren't going their way. As you look back at this one, I thought there was a question. As you see, yeah, his foot was not on the bag. It was clear as day there. And so what our manager for the Paddleheads, Schlack, saw, I do not know. But whatever it was, he's not thrilled about. It's a unassisted fielder's choice by Casarella as the double steal is on for Millen. And it's fouled out of play. I thought there was some of a question if Casarella surely had that ball with his foot touching the bag, and I'm surprised Todd Pratt didn't double check that question. Man, not short on unique plays in this one. We lost track of the count at one point, and I'm sure that may have been a point of frustration for Schlack as well, as it ended up not mattering, and funny enough, it was against Millen when that happened. Called a strike, and the count goes to 0-2 on Jake. Jake all prepared for Toy Story Day tomorrow. Nicknamed Buzz Lightyear by the Range Rider squad. The 0-2, 1-out pitch with runners on first and second. Pitch home. Hit on the ground towards third. Another opportunity as Casarella will this time unassistedly touch the bag again, and he had no chance for the throw to first base. It's a fielder's choice unassisted for the second time this inning. Donovan Ratfield now the chance with Beard on second, Millen on first. Range Riders first and second, no outs. This is a situation that they've taken advantage of to some extent in the early part of the season, but there was also so many players left on base for Glacier. And you really had a feeling that the 12-4 start could have been even better if there were more clutch moments from Glacier. The 0-1 into Donovan Ratfield, who was Mr. Clutch, especially in week 1. One downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Game 17 of the young season. Range Riders will finish week 3 of the season tomorrow. And then head to Billings for 6. Against the first place Mustangs. Goes down as a disengagement by Jackson as he steps off. Another ball. Count goes to 2-1. Acting manager of the Paddleheads maybe is now David Peterson. He's listed as the bench coach, while Easton Barnes is listed as an assistant coach. So, if we get there, we'll see. 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Donovan Ratfield. Range Riders as a whole with runners in scoring position this season batting .282. They have had nearly 40 more chances than their opponents coming into this game. Tapper hit to third and almost a chance for an unassisted fielder's choice hat trick by Xavier Casarella. Not a very common occurrence that could happen in an inning, but we're at, I'd say it's probably more rare than an immaculate inning. 2-2, 2-out pitch, bottom of the third. Called strike three. We head to the fourth. It is 1-0 Missoula.
Welcome to Magoo & Company, a third-generation family-owned business nestled in the heart of downtown Whitefish. We offer a dazzling array of diamonds, ethically sourced Montana sapphires, and captivating custom designs that capture the essence of Montana's natural beauty. From jewelry design and appraisals to cleaning, repairs, and gemologist consulting, your satisfaction is our priority. Experience the magic of Magoo & Company and discover the perfect piece to celebrate life's special moments.
When injuries occur, it can feel like your goals are out of reach. I'm Dr. Karen Purser, an orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist at Logan Health. If you injure a joint, muscle, or bone, our orthopedics and sports medicine specialists are here to help. Our highly specialized surgeons, clinicians, and physical therapists offer innovative treatments and the latest minimally invasive procedures to help you recover and return to activity faster and stronger so that you can reach your goal.
Welcome back in. Chris Canada, the man on the bump for the Glacier Range Riders. He takes over after 3 innings from Jared Ingman, 1 earned run against Ingman. Just 2 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts. That's a whip of 0.67, but as of right now, if the Range Riders don't tie this game up or take the lead, he would be saddled with the loss if we get to that. Enzo Apodaca leads it off. 1 ball, no strike. This one hit over towards first, and it will be Felix trying to get there. He picked it up and tried to tap the bag himself. It's an infield single. That was just hit to the perfect spot, and Apodaca had enough speed to beat it out. No outs, top of the 4th inning. 1-0 Missoula leads. Leadoff batter aboard. That's what they got last inning on a bloop single into right. And they brought him around to score. Called strike into Xavier Casarella. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Canada this season, when or against right-handed batters, they are 5 for 19 against him. Lefties were 0 for 3. That's the first hit against him. This one out to center field. Finds the glove of JD. 1 gone. Up comes Tyler Stone. Stone 0 for 1 with the strikeout looking. With runners on base. Batters are only 214 against Chris Canada, who into the contest has a 10.13 ERA on the season. Called a strike. Technically, he pitched a scoreless inning last night. No earned runs against him, but he inherited a bases-loaded situation, and all 3 runs that he inherited did come home. The 0-1 one-out pitch, runner on first. As it's just going to get through. So for the second time this inning, a lefty batter gets a hit off Canada after no lefties had got a hit against him, period, coming into this matchup. Canada's second tallest player in Range Rider history, only behind first-year Range Rider, or inaugural season, I guess, Range Rider, Austin Steinfort. Both these singles, just weakly hit balls that found their way to the right spot to get the batter's board. 1 out, top of the 4th. Josker Feliciano fouls it off. Count goes to 0-1. Range Riders as a whole this season, the left on base number, certainly something that has frustrated them. They've stranded, and this is through 16 games, they've stranded 30 more players on base than their opponents have. On average, the Range Riders strand 10 a game, over 10 a game. And you just need to go back as far as the last inning to see where that can be a point of frustration, as they had first and second, no outs. Almost a successful sacrifice by Logan Beard. And then in the end, some fielders' choices and a strikeout ended the scoring opportunity. 1-0 as we sit. This one sky high to right center field. Apodaca with good wheels. And he will just try and bluff a throw. Pop out to right. 2 gone. And up comes Leighton Berry. Berry 0 for 1. He struck out swinging. First pitch delivered outside the zone. Top of the 4th inning, 2 outs. Runners on first and second in the form of Apodaca and Stone. That one was just high to Berry. 1-0. Just low. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 2-1. Again, a swing and a miss. Count goes to 2-2. Very interesting inning for Canada, who again, coming into the frame, had not allowed a hit to a left-handed batter. They were 0 for 3 against him, but he allowed 2 hits to lefties and got the 2 righties out, and then he just struck out a lefty to finish off the frame. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It is 1-0 Missoula.
Need a space that offers both a place to dine and an area to mingle in style? Book the Hideaway and Corner Suite at Glacier Bank Park. You and up to 50 guests will enjoy full catering services in the Hideaway and incredible mountain views and comfortable furnishings in the luxury Corner Suite. This versatile combination offers a space to dine and a place to relax, creating the perfect arrangement for guests looking to mingle, network, and celebrate. Book your office party today at glacierbankpark.com.
When injuries occur, it can feel like your goals are out of reach. I'm Dr. Karen Purser, an orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist at Logan Health. If you injure a joint, muscle, or bone, our orthopedics and sports medicine specialists are here to help. Our highly specialized surgeons, clinicians, and physical therapists offer innovative treatments and the latest minimally invasive procedures to help you recover and return to activity faster and stronger so that you can reach your goal.
It's the bottom of the fourth inning. Range Riders looking for some offense here after not putting up anything in the first three frames against the starting pitcher in Jaron Jackson, who had an 11.57 ERA. Too many times last year, pitchers had their get-right game against the Range Riders, and for Jackson in much need of a get-right game. So far, it's gone good through three, but the report when talking with Voice of the Paddleheads, Jeff Safford, was that he has had starts where he's looked really good, and then things have blown up in a hurry at points on him. The 0-1 into Rover. All the way to the backstop. And it'll trickle all the way back to Tommy. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rover, first time up. He flied out to center. Ball, 2-1. Rover hammers this one to left field. Barry backing up, gets to the track, and he can't make the catch. Off the wall, Rover holds it second. It's a leadoff double by the Range Rider third baseman. That one just hung up in the clouds long enough. And went 358 feet. He needed to be about 365. And it would have been his 5th home run of the season. Barry was struggling to locate it out in left field. And certainly could have made a better attempt at it, it felt like. Leadoff runner on second. It's another situation where you got to score this man. Range Riders failed at doing that last inning. Swing and a miss by Steele makes the count 0-1. Steele walked his first time up. A 1 pitch is below the zone. Home plate umpire has a pretty good sense of up and down here in Matt Beaver, but the left to right side of the plate, that's where he's proved to be a little shaky. The 1 ball, 1 strike. No out pitch, bottom of the 4th inning. That one didn't need much to see it was a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out for Jacob Steele. Range Rider leader, no second on the team in RBIs. This is a high fly ball headed towards the rocks. A fairly apathetic attempt by the handful of people standing over there to try and get that one. Get it, they're looking into the sun a little bit, but the Paddleheads bullpen did not do him any favors. They didn't even react like the ball was about to land behind him. And it landed in no man's land. Somebody scurried to grab it. Up the middle, awkward hop, and it lands short hopping in front of the second baseman, Bermudez. Awkward play for Bermudez, probably an RBI single, and it is 1-1. Had to go down to his feet to try and, or had to go down to his side to try and grab it. So Steele brings in his 21st run of the season. We're all square at one apiece. Up comes Edric Felix. Range Riders had 2 clinics this morning for play ball weekend. And I'll tell you what, as Steele's running, oh, now he's in a pickle. The throw in, back to first, and he's out. Count goes to 1-0 as do not know exactly what Steele was thinking there. As he was pinned. 1-0 pitch into Edric Felix now. Swing and a miss at that one. Count goes to 1-1. But I'm telling you, Edric Felix was a star of the show. So great interacting with all the kids that came through in the clinic during play ball weekend, as were every Range Rider. But Edric, man, last night, 30 minutes after the game had concluded, you look down to the hill next to the Range Rider dugout, and there's still a group of kids there as the 2-1 pitch comes in. Felix powers this one to right field, working over and making the catch on the run is Apodaca. Good speed from Apodaca. 2 outs. But those group of kids there, and there was one player just finishing up signing an autograph. And this is after a 5-run loss. And Felix was the man that was standing over there. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th inning. Up comes Julian Sauger. Sees a strike. 1-1 scoreline here. Bluff of the bat, said he went. Count goes to 0-2. Oh-2 pitch home to Sauger. Missed outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes into Sauger. Outside, 2-2. Jackson has labored, not yet through 4 innings of work. And he has thrown 83 pitches. The Range Riders will be getting into this bullpen early. I'm just excited to see who the bullpen catcher will be. As Sauger down the left field line, and it's through. Sauger on his high horse heading to staying at first. Plays it safe there. We've already seen 1 out on the base pass this inning. Sauger didn't want to make it a second. It's a single for Sauger, however. And up steps Kyle Ashworth, who is allowed to reach via the single into right last time. Second into the season for Sauger over there. And Ashworth almost gets popped. 1-0. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th inning. 1-1 scoreline. Jeff Safford and I voiced the Paddleheads mutually agreed pregame. A 2-1 scoreline, quick contest would be enjoyed by everybody. As there's a called strike, and on an inning where earlier I complimented the up and down feeling of our home plate umpire, that one was truly below the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike for Ashworth. Also called a strike. I think our home plate umpire might have been in the agreement about the 2-1 game. And a quick one because it's an awful cushion being given to the zone. The 1-2. Luckily, he was not consistent because that one might have been called a strike as well. He decided to stick that way. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 4th inning, 1-1 scoreline. Runner on first in Julian Sauger. The 89th pitch of the contest by Jaron Jackson. Swung on out to center field, dive, and just can't make the play. Piotkovich laid out for it, but it just came up empty. And warm-ups going on in the pen, as somebody with a sweatshirt is acting as the bullpen catcher right now, and he's not even in a squad. Grant Garza, the man warming up. Relief pitcher out of Missouri City, Texas. As not Michael Schlack, but oh no, I did not even realize trainer came out to check on Piotkovich, and that would be a disaster if Piotkovich had to go out of this game, because there's not an option. Klemp would likely come out of the DH spot, and then I'm assuming this is a thought exercise that I don't even want to go down because I don't know this Paddlehead squad. As the thought is, they're going to have a meeting on the mound right now, so I can even go. So maybe Feliciano stays at catcher. Klemp goes to first. Stone then goes to third, and then you have Xavier Casarella at short or Bermudez. That's probably what you're going to got to do. But I'll tell you what, Xavier Casarella was the DH most of last season when he played for the Range Riders. And Bermudez started this game in the outfield. So I don't think you want any of those guys over at shortstop, just in terms of familiarity. And we'll see what the decision to make from acting manager David Peterson or Easton Barnes is. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th inning. Runner on first and second for J.D. McLaughlin, who had a base knock up the middle his last time up. Called a strike on the inner cut. Count goes to 0-1. J.D. first hit of the series versus the Paddleheads. 0-1 count, 2 outs, 2 on. Hit hard down the right field line, but it'll land over atop the rocks on the beer garden. Count goes to 0-2 on JD. Oh-2, 2-out pitch into the Range Riders center fielder. Sauger on second, Ashworth on first. Pitch home. Swing and a miss. McLaughlin turned down, and an RBI single by Jacob Steele evens the scoreline. We're at 1-1. To the 5th we go.
At Johns Manville, it's always been about people, the people who design the systems, the people who build them, and the people who depend on them to perform every day. That's why we approach commercial roofing with care, collaboration, and respect for what's at stake, because every roof protects more than a building. It protects people, livelihoods, and peace of mind. That's the responsibility we stand behind. Johns Manville Commercial Roofing Systems.
Welcome back. It's the top of the 5th inning. Range Riders and the Paddleheads tied at 1 apiece. Jeremy Piotkovich leads us off. Piotkovich 1 for 1 as he faces off against Canada. Single on a fly ball to right field by Piotkovich. First pitch is fouled off after a scoreless frame tossed by Chris Canada. Chris Canada seems like the name of there's some sort of pitch clock situation there. Chris Canada seems like the name of a Captain America type. There's a ball. 1-1. Another ball. Two balls, one strike. Canada versus Piotkovich. That one's a hit. Sauger will pick it up. The throw is into right field. I want to go down probably as an error on Sauger, as it looked like that was a makeable play from the Range Rider catcher. An awkward play to make. As you see, it went off the knob of the bat. And once again, Canada entices weak contact, about as weak as it gets. And it will go down as an error. E2 as Kazuski, I believe, should be the man up at the plate, and he is. Called strike. Count goes to 1-1. Piotkovich reaches on the bottom of the bat knob single. The 1-1. Upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kazuski now as the injury replacement to the injured Yukimoto. And it's 3-1. Chris Canada, his biggest struggles have come when he's missed the strike zone. The last inning, he allowed 2 weak contact singles, but he survived it because he didn't allow any free passes on the walks. 3 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Pitch into Kazuski, and it's sent sky high. Sauger looking for it, and it will be snagged by Sauger. You can see a catcher make that play 1 trillion times, and it is never easy. As we welcome in a former catcher himself, maybe not as experienced as Todd Pratt, but Patrick Kelly, PK, welcome into the booth.
Thanks for having me. Very excited as we continue our tour to get ramped up for next week in Billings.
1 out, top of the 5th inning. It's kind of like Jared Ingman coming off the IL to start the season. He's being ramped up in terms of his stamina. As this one laced down the left field line, it is a fair ball. Heading to second is Bermudez. It's a double for the second baseman for Missoula. PK, you put on the headset and there's a double immediately.
I wasn't going to say it. It's tough to gauge the timing of when you enter the booth. You know, I should have come up, obviously, before the last inning because the Range Riders at least were able to square it up. That would have been good timing. I hopped on here because I did notice on Sog's catch, it always makes you nervous with the mask. What are they going to do with the mask? And he kind of dropped it a little close to his feet. He was able to avoid it, but some catchers just chuck that thing. They wait until the last second and then just let it rip, get it out of the way so they don't get it tangled in their feet.
One out, runners on second and third now. RBI opportunity as the first pitch misses upstairs and away. PK, were you down on the field when the ejection happened?
I was in the third base well, and I could hear it from there pretty clearly. Not for broadcast, most of it. But
Okay.
I was in the first base well earlier in the game.
There's a ball, 2-0.
And they were already chirping. There was a close play at first, and there was a lot of chirping, and the umpire hollered into the dugout and said, "We're not going to talk from here. If you got a problem, come on out. Let's go." And eventually they went, I guess.
Yeah, and Michael Schlack certainly did. This one's hit towards second. Logan Beer will grab it. It's an RBI ground out from Nick Klemp. Back in front, the Paddleheads go 2-1. Still, I'm not upset with Canada's pitching performance right now, especially if he can get out of this jam in a lefty-on-lefty matchup with Enzo Apodaca, who had a weak hit infield single against him. Yeah, it seemed like there was either a phrase or a couple words set out of the dugout by Schlacht and then a pretty quick trigger, so that makes sense.
Yes.
That there was a precursor to that of not yapping from the dugout.
One of my favorite things about Glacier Bank Park is the fact that if you get run from a game,
He called strike 101.
you get escorted out by a guy in a cowboy hat.
Nick Hogan.
That's right.
Facilities director here, yeah.
It's always the best thing. It's just the Dallas Cowboys have a head trainer, athletic trainer, who wears a cowboy hat, so he makes it on TV pretty often, and there's just something about it. There's just something about somebody with a cowboy hat in the stadium that I respect.
2 balls, 1 strike. On brand, certainly.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Schlacht and Nick Hogan managed against each other in the inaugural season. Nick Hogan, former Range Rider manager, so they know each other well.
I did wish I could hear that conversation as they made their way down the line.
They both hold a certain contempt
Yeah.
for an umpiring crew getting it wrong. I've seen them both be tossed from contests in equally explosive fashion.
Yeah.
Maybe Schlacht was just trying to do an impression of Nick Hogan. 3 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. Hit on the ground towards short. Backhand and a good throw needed by Steele. It's not going to be enough. Another infield single for Apodaca. And Range Riders, Canada, other than that double, he's enticed weak contact.
Yeah.
But it just goes down as an unfortunate RBI infield single. None of these runs are actually going to go down as earned against Canada because the first runner reached on an E2.
You see a lot of shortstops go for the Jeter move, and that one was just hit too far into the hole for him to be able to get to it and get anything on the throw. It was a pretty good play to keep in front of him, though.
Xavier Casarella sees a call and strike. Count goes to 0-1. 3-1 the score line. PK, I talked a little bit earlier, and we got 2 outs here, so this will be a conversation that will continue in
Sure.
the bottom of the 5th, probably, as the count goes to 1-1. But I was talking about the Play Ball Weekend events today, earlier today, that the 2 different clinics put on by the Range Riders. You were there for the entirety of both. And obviously a huge shout out to the Missoula Paddleheads, who had about 5 of their players came out as well, as this one floated to Steele. We'll talk about that in the bottom of the 5th. 2 runs come across on the RBI ground out by Klemp and the RBI single by Apodaca.
Range Riders fans, Glacier Bank Park offers a variety of suites to accommodate groups of all sizes, from small gatherings to parties of up to 65 people. The balcony views and exclusive services create a premium experience for celebrations, reunions, and outings of all kinds. Enjoy the convenience and comfort of your private space, breathtaking Montana scenery, and high-level action on the field, while our dedicated hospitality team creates an unforgettable experience for you and your family, friends, or business associates.
Numbness and tingling in the hand can make you lose your grip. Hi, I'm Dr. Nate Fogel. I'm an orthopedic surgeon and hand specialist here at Logan Health. Repetitive actions can lead to a condition called carpal tunnel. Left untreated, these symptoms can interfere with your daily life. Our fellowship-trained hand surgeons offer patient-specific care to help you regain control. Here's to getting a grip on life.
Welcome to Magoo & Company, a third-generation family-owned business nestled in the heart of downtown Whitefish. We offer a dazzling array of diamonds, ethically sourced Montana sapphires, and captivating custom designs that capture the essence of Montana's natural beauty. From jewelry design and appraisals to cleaning, repairs, and gemologist consulting, your satisfaction is our priority. Experience the magic of Magoo & Company and discover the perfect piece to celebrate life's special moments.
Welcome back in. It is the top of the 5th inning. Scratch that bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher in the contest for these Missoula Paddleheads. It is number 11, Grant Garza. I'll talk more about him in a moment, but PK, I was just letting into you to talk about the Play Ball Weekend events today, the 2 camps, and just how special they were. And, you know, shout out to everybody involved. I'm sure you'll mention some, but it was just awesome.
It was a little conflicting, honestly, because it was Paddleheads and Range Riders.
Popped up into the air over near first, and Stone makes the grab. 1 gone.
But to their credit, and I believe Stone, who just made that catch, was one of the participants today. I believe he was in the 2nd session. But it was just fantastic. The partnership is through the Range Riders Foundation with the Miracle League. That's one element of it. That's what the early clinic was. So it was a Miracle League clinic for players with special needs. And then the whole thing was under the umbrella of MLB's Play Ball Weekend program, which you've explained, I'm sure, to the audience about how it's just a chance to make sure that everyone who wants to has a chance to play ball all together on the same weekend. And this morning, it was just fantastic to see the players having so much fun, just as much fun as the participants. It was absolutely beautiful, is really the only way to describe it.
2 balls and no strikes right now into Millen.
And it was good for your heart. That's the best way to describe it. It was just good for your heart. Everybody was in such high spirits and having a great time.
Big swing and a miss, 2-1.
And then it rolled into the camp, the afternoon session for players without special needs, and it was just a great time. And it flowed well. Everybody had a great time. Got a good group picture there at the end. Those are all on our social media channels.
Lifted high into the sky over near the dugout. The catch is made. A second foul out enticed by Grant Garza.
Let me tell you, I think that thing was going to be out, and the wind is blowing straight out, and it blew that ball back into play, and that is a tough break.
Up comes Donovan Ratfield, 0 for 2. By the way, Grant Garza, Johnson County Community College product, started his career at the JUCO level in Overland Park, Kansas, then went to Tarleton State University in Stephenville, and finished up at the University of Texas, Tyler. This guy's been all over your home state.
Yeah, I've been to Stephenville. It's a pretty good little college town. Honestly, Stephenville had an incredible high school football program in the 90s and early 2000s.
Originally from Missouri City, Texas, Garza.
Missouri?
No, Missouri City.
I got to tell you, I'm sure I have some knowledge of Missouri City.
Ratfield pops it up. Garza, a pop-up specialist, it seems, is 2 foul outs and a fly out to right end the frame. It is 3-1 Paddleheads as we head to the 6th. Welcome back in. It is the top of the 6th inning. It's Stone as well as Feliciano and Barry due up for the Paddleheads this inning. Stone is 1 for 2. He's got a single and a strikeout. First pitch coming in as Canada's still out there, and a swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-1. Welcome into the broadcast booth. Trading out PK for Lauren Hill.
Hello.
Our in-stadium reporter, sideline reporter. Lauren, great weather, kind of a little chilly in the air. You're wearing a puffy coat there. 1-1 goes the count.
I'm out of the ordinary here. I'm getting used to the Montana weather and the difference. I actually talked to my mom about this today. That in Georgia, when it's a nice 55 to 60 degrees, there's some wetness in the air, so it doesn't really feel as it does. Here, it's the degree and then a little bit colder because the wind is just whipping.
Yeah.
So I have a turtleneck under a windbreaker, under a feather down puffer jacket.
And
it's about 50-something degrees. It's kind of sad, honestly.
That one makes it 3-1. There's definitely a couple kids out there that are in short sleeve T-shirts, But
yes.
Montana kids.
I'm
and only a couple of them. There's a kid right back in shorts.
Yep.
The shot that we're looking at right there. This one flared up and down over near third. Foul ball. Count goes to 3 balls, 2 strikes on Tyler Stone. You got a chance to meet Chad Castillo and his brother, former Range Rider. I mentioned they're in the building tonight. Nice. Pretty cool getting to talk to them, and it's kind of cool because we haven't had a ton of essentially alumni integration, but being cool for him, and it was a good first pitch too. This one out to shallow center field. McLaughlin makes the grab.
It was actually Jared, Chad's brother, is the reason why they're up here. It's Jared's getting married, and they are having his bachelor party up here. And they chose to come to the Flathead Valley, and we were talking about his experience just in general, off camera. And he did make a nod toward before the gates opened when they practice that his pitch then was a lot better, and he had wished that was the one that they that was on film. But at least it made it to the glove.
Yeah, no, and he didn't spike it in front of his brother, and he came up and hit his brother in the face and knocked some teeth out. We're glad that didn't happen, because that would have been a messy scene.
Baseball turned to hockey there.
Yeah. Called strike into Joscar Feliciano. He is 1 for 2 today. Feliciano, last time up, he doubled. That was his first time up, actually. He doubled into right center. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out on the catcher for the Missoula Paddleheads. Down low and in. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Canada still out there, allowed 2 runs, but really couldn't knock him too much for those runs across. It was both unearned against him. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch, 1 out. Tapper towards third. Rover charges it. The throw is on target to first base. 2 gone. Have you done anything special? Last night, I watched Toy Story to prepare for Toy Story Day, to get mentally right for it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done any homework yet for Toy Story Day?
I have
Other
not.
than repping the jersey.
Yes.
And hyping it up.
I have not, but I did use the phrase today in one of my on-fields.
Is this one out to center? And out number 3. What phrase do you use?
To infinity and beyond. And it felt a little funky coming out of my mouth, but I feel like I'll be saying it a lot tomorrow, so.
Well, now we go to the 6th inning and beyond. It is Range Riders 1, Missoula 3.
Glacier Bank Park is just so beautiful. The absolutely stunning views, the facility that we have, we're just very fortunate.
this is a place where people can gather throughout the community. The location of the park itself is centrally located within the valley, and as such, it keeps everybody coming from all the different municipalities throughout the valley, and really it's just a hub for the community to meet.
My favorite thing about coming to the ball field is seeing old friends, seeing the beautiful complex, and the staff, how friendly they are. They greet us with friendliness, and the seats are awesome.
We also get to connect with folks as far away as Boston that are here on vacation that actually want to come to a ballpark because I talk them into it because that's how special it is.
So we come to socialize. We love our group and we just have a really good time. Of course, we like watching the game too. And we like to win.
At Johns Manville, what we build starts with who we are. We are people champions, listening first, putting customers and teams at the center of every decision. We're driven by passion, always going the extra mile, always pushing ideas further. We perform, setting higher standards, delivering stronger results, and creating lasting value. And we protect our people, our customers, and the world around us, today and for generations to come.
Welcome back. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Glacier Range Riders currently trail the Missoula Paddleheads by a score of 3-1. Tommy Rover leads us off. It is Rover with a double today, Steele and Felix after that. Scott Gladstone, Lauren Hill with you. Ball low and in on Rover. Count goes to 1-0. Grant Garza didn't get to introduce him much. Originally from Missouri City, Texas, like I mentioned. And over his collegiate career at Tarleton State and Texas Tyler. Is this one down the right field line? Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. All the way to the corner. Tommy Rover has himself a second double of the day. It is the leadoff runner on base for Glacier.
Gosh, he's really electric.
In scoring position. And Lauren, it's time for Life's Important Questions.
My favorite time.
This one is about your protocol, your order of operations that you do something. And I might have asked it at some point in Life's Important Questions, but, you know, life's a full circle. We'll always come back. When you are brushing your teeth, what is the proper order of operations in terms of toothpaste, wet the toothbrush, everything like that?
So I believe I do this.
Ball count goes to 1-0.
Out of the ordinary.
Oh.
I wet the toothbrush first, put toothpaste on it, and wet it again.
Called a strike there. Count goes to 1-1. Range Riders challenged that one, and it missed about 2 balls above the zone. We'll make the count 2-0. Good call there by Steele to challenge it. Count goes to 2-0. I was distracted by the at-bat. You wet it first.
I wet the toothbrush first, put the toothpaste on. I don't cover also the entire toothbrush. I do a hefty clump that covers half. So I'm not using too much because you spit out a lot of it, you know. It doesn't get around your whole mouth. And then I wet the toothbrush again and then go in for it.
I think the actual amount of toothpaste is an interesting
because I don't like to waste. Yeah, I've realized that throughout my life, if I fill up the entire brush with a full load of toothpaste, I'm just at the end spitting out toothpaste.
Aren't you always just spitting out all the toothpaste?
Yes, but there's chunks that you can tell were not brushed.
This one hit over to third. Rover was going, and the shortstop, Piotkovich, fired it there. It's going to go down as a 6-5 fielder's choice that Jacob Steele reaches on. Piotkovich to Casarella to end that one. Rover out, and the leadoff double is erased thanks to that one. It was going to be a tricky play to make it first, especially with Steele's speed. So instead, Rover kind of makes a mistake there and gives maybe an out to Missoula. Up comes Edric Felix, 0 for 2. Bluff the hips there. The count goes to 1-0. I am a wet the toothbrush, put the toothpaste on, wet it again.
Oh, so that is normal.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I always thought that wasn't normal.
But Yeah, I mean the half
The half
toothbrush
bothers you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems. I mean, I would almost
It's a
rather
hefty clump.
have.
It's just not the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have more toothpaste than not enough toothpaste. Counts 2-0 on
Well,
Felix.
if I ever hit that point where there's not enough, I just add more. And
That
that's
feels
usually
like a cardinal sin.
Yeah, but that it usually never happens.
You can't be mid-brush and adding more toothpaste on a half-brushed toothbrush. You know
No,
what
the
I'm saying?
whole toothbrush gets used.
Yeah, well, yes,
Yeah.
I know. But once you start brushing with it, if you realize you need more toothpaste, at that point you're committed to the amount that you've.
Yes. I
put.
will say the amount of times that's happened in my lifetime is less than I can count on one hand.
2 balls,
So-
2 strikes. I hope so.
It does feel wrong, but
yeah.
it has happened.
So you're just committed. Like, there's sometimes I honestly won't even squeeze a second time if my initial dab that I put on there, as this one's down the left field line, just foul.
Is a lot, yeah. And there's days, where too much toothpaste comes out and it does fill up the whole brush, and that's just life,
Yeah.
But preference-wise, I've learned that if I do a giant clump on there, I feel like I'm wasting toothpaste.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out for Edric Felix versus Grant Garza. Swung on to left center field. It is down for a base knock.
I would also
Felix
like to
reaches
state.
first.
I would also like to state that I have never had a cavity, so this this method could be
Surefire.
Could work,
Take a look back at the Felix single. Now 1 for 3 on the day. Up comes Julian Sager, who had a base knock. Nope, never mind. It is Carson Hornung that will pinch hit. Carson Hornung stepping in through the left side. Given an opportunity here, Hornung. He is 4th on the team in batting average, hitting .316, 1 home run, and 6 RBIs. I would believe you were in the booth when he hit his first home run.
Yes, I was.
All right. Well, now he has a chance to do some damage. And instead, it might be damage the other way. A 4-6-3 double play ends the frame. Lauren, keep brushing your teeth.
Always.
We will talk to you tomorrow. Range Riders go down in a double play to end the frame. It is 3-1 as we head to the 7th. Welcome back. Top of the 7th inning. Range Riders trail the Missoula Paddleheads by a score of 3-1. Connor Housley into the contest. And PK back into the booth. Patrick Kelly alongside Scott Gladstone. That's me.
It means we're going to talk about clouds.
The sunset does come up sometimes, so something that has to do with the sky.
We have a lenticular cloud formation above the Swan Ridge right now. And I bet it's going to be spectacular once the colors change here in about 30, 45 minutes.
Fouled off by Piotkovic. 0-2 count, no outs. Top of the 7th inning, 3-1. Missoula leads the Range Riders. They're going for the series win tonight if they can finish this contest off. Piotkovich is 1 for 2. Single and reached on an error. PK, do you have an opinion on the order of operations for toothbrushing?
There was a time in my life where I was so hurried. I just brushed my teeth in the shower in the morning and then just darted out the door. I'm not saying it's advisable. I'm just saying it happened.
I just can't. I know a couple people that also have that philosophy, and it just seems too much fluid, too much. Like it's too wet to brush your teeth. You're gonna get.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about before. It's the whole process.
Yeah,
it's the duration.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Connor Housley in the contest here has a 8.44 ERA, 5 1/3 innings pitched.
Typically, though, in my current more leisurely pace in life, even though it doesn't really feel that way all the time during a 12-game homestand.
Call the ball.
I'm the same as you, actually. Water on the toothbrush first, because it's also kind of a last rinse from the last go-round,
Sure.
So you start wet toothbrush, thumb across toothbrush to get it to flick off anything, you know what I mean? A nice and cleansed toothbrush. Apply toothpaste, water again.
And that's ball 4 up and in.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to figure out if it caught him.
Yeah.
I don't think it did. Can't tell.
Piotkovich reaches. We'll take a look back at it to see how close it was to catching him. Ooh, awfully.
I don't know.
Ball 4 anyway. It was 3-2 count.
It's going to first either way.
Top of the 7th inning. Also, much appreciation to PK for bringing me up some bison meatballs from the Glacier Bank Park concession stands. One of my favorite options on the menu, if you have not tried it, is bison meatballs with cheese on top of mashed potatoes.
With the huckleberry sauce.
With the huckleberry drizzle. Yeah, you can't forget the huckleberry. Thank you.
Yes.
The huckleberry sauce is the perfect finish to it.
Yes.
1-0 hits the zone on Michael Kazuski.
1
ball, 1 strike.
I did try Uncle Dan's first, but he was down to Prairie Fire this late in the game, which I know your sensitivity to hot foods.
Yes.
So that didn't work out. I would argue this is just as good.
Better, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, better.
Could have gone with, I'm not the one who said that, to be clear, Uncle Dan. But it is one of the best meals in the house. And then this week, game day nachos, elk. So that was an option I was weighing as well.
2 balls, 1 strike. To clarify to Uncle Dan, no shade on the bratwurst. It is the best bratwurst in the Pioneer League, one of the best in professional baseball 100%. As a whole. I just feel classier when I'm having the bison meatballs.
It isn't.
Misses inside 3-1.
It is elevated fare, as they say. It's very good. Very good.
3 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Top of the 7th inning. Housley right now in danger of a free pass for the second time to open this frame. And to flip over the lineup card. 3-1 pitch. Bluffed the bat. Did he go? No, says the umpire, who cannot see at all if he went.
It's the thing. I don't think he went, to be clear, but it's my first time seeing it again in the booth. The guy on second base with the worst look in the building, who is the one who makes the call there. It's not the umpire's fault. That's where they put him. But it feels like the guy standing about 1.5 feet behind would have the better view than the guy at second base. I don't know.
3 balls, 1 strike. 3-1 the score, as this one's bunted foul by Bermudez. 0-1 goes the count. No outs. Final line for Chris Canada, 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, both unearned, and 1 strikeout. Biggest thing for Canada that he needed to do, no walks.
Mm-hmm.
No hit by pitches, no free passes. That's right now how Housley has found himself into some trouble. And it's taken for a strike. Count goes to 0-2. Sacrifice bunt out the window. PK, how excited are you for Toy Story Day tomorrow? Let's start with that.
I believe it will be a rootin' tootin' good time is the phrase that's been bantied about.
This one hit on the ground towards third. Rover makes an impressive catch. The throw for 1 is there. The throw for 2, not so much. They did get the out of Kazuski. What a play by Rover. That was kind of... I mean, I didn't even expect for him to even have a chance of making it.
Yeah, he made a long lunge over there to get it and then had to pop up and get it to second. And it wasn't the hardest throw to second, but it was just in the nick of time. And then Logan Beard unable to get it across for the seemingly impossible double play there.
Yeah, especially with leadoff batter Bermudez up. He reaches first safely. 1 out, top of the 7th inning. Paddleheads lead 3-1. PK, you said you're excited about Toy Story Night. You're also excited to hit the road with the Range Riders next week.
Yes, it's one of the best things I experienced last season.
First pitch downstairs to Nick Klemp.
It's also weird to be my age and traveling with a baseball team because I was sort of in between the coach age and the player age, just kind of sandwiched in there.
Pickoff attempt over to first base.
And it was actually Logan Beard who kind of helped because he's just kind of a grown-up at heart. You know what I mean? He's like old soul, as they would say. You know what I mean? And they call him coach, and he was right across from me on the bus, and he was kind of my icebreaker with the team, and just a great road dog, so to speak. And it was a great time.
2 balls, no strikes.
And looking forward to it. It's one of the longer bus rides. You know, Billings is a long haul, but it's a beautiful drive, so no complaints there. Yeah. I'm curious about movie selection. That is critical. I don't know what the themes are this year.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Last year, For the Love of the Game was a recurring feature.
Counts 2-1.
And maybe the most fun bus ride featured the Miami versus Notre Dame football game.
That was awesome.
That was a great time.
Another pickoff attempt to first, the second disengagement by Housley. Yeah, that was awesome. And for those who don't know, when you are driving a bus through the middle of Montana, you don't get service the whole way.
Yeah.
So it was really fun when there was a throw to the corner of the end zone and the feed cut because we were out of service.
It reminded me of being on a ship because the ship turns a certain way and you lose satellite and it just cuts out. So it was very similar to that. And everybody reacts accordingly. Like, no.
Dancing over on first base from Bermudez. And a pitch into the zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, top of the 7th inning. Piotkovich versus Bermudez.
And the last funny thing about the game on the bus was that you get a bunch of athletes and competitive people on a bus. Even if you don't know the two teams playing, people just divvy themselves up and then talk trash the whole bus ride.
Late swing and a foul ball by Klemp. 3-1 scoreline here. 3-2 count. 1 out, top of the 7th. Klemp is 0 for 3 today. Yeah, I remember I was kind of riling Tank, top hat manager, up, saying I was rooting for Notre Dame when I was maybe slightly slighted for them. But I was more saying they were going to win the game and they were playing better. And that certainly got to him a little bit. It was pretty funny back and forth.
He acted like you cared for nothing but Notre Dame football.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was giving it to you pretty good.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the 7th inning. More dancing by Bermudez. He's trying to entice a third disengagement. As this one, it will head towards the gap in left center and probably score 2. Klemp has extra bases. He will hold at second base. And, holding at third for some reason is Bermudez. I don't know why he got a stop sign there.
That is an astonishing stop sign. We'll look at the replay, but I think he was on third base when the ball was picked up.
Was picked up, yeah.
Well, a very conservative move. We'll see if it pays off. So far, it worked out better for the Range Riders.
Yeah. Bermudez does get there, and Housley will end the day. It's those 2 walks that started off his outing that often signal a worrying sight when you see 2 walks to start an outing. They got the fielder's choice there, and really that was Rover helping him out big time to get through a third of an inning. As up comes Jacob Hasty, who's looking to shake off a couple rough outings for him where the strike zone was hard to find for the left-hander.
It's very strange to look down at the stat sheet and see Hasty's number because they were so staggeringly impressive last year. An ERA in the 1s. He had that really long stretch of appearances without any runs surrendered. And he seemed to always come in a jam or create a jam and then work his way out of it. It was a really incredible run. And you got to think, at some point, he's going to be right back on track. And maybe this is the start of the turnaround right here because, I mean, he enters the game in a jam.
Yeah.
And down 4-1 at this point, you feel like at this stage in the game, you got to get out of this unscathed if you want to avoid requiring a miracle to get to a win.
Up comes Jacob Hasty, product out of the state of Texas. Hasty, hailing originally from Keller, Texas, second-year range rider. And the lefty will face off against Enzo Apodaca, who has 2 infield singles, one of them an RBI infield single.
I think we might get some alpenglow. I'm just telling you, I'm looking at the Swan Range right now and the shadows and the clouds above, and it might be our first alpenglow of the season.
All right. Speak it into existence, King.
I hope so.
Infield's in right now in a 4-1 game as Hasty tries to get out of the jam, help out his fellow bullpen arm and Connor Housley. First pitch by Hasty. Below the zone. Count goes to 1-0.
Not much below the zone. It's honestly a pretty good pitch.
And you haven't been up here watching this zone come in as it's been all over the place. 1-0. Bluffed the bat, hit the zone again. Count goes to 1-1. Infield's in. Felix over at first. Beard at second. Steele, the shortstop, and Rover at third. The 1-ball, 1-strike pitch into Apodaca. Low and away. Count goes to 2-1. That was a fastball that he pulled.
Yeah, he pulled that one pretty far. Last year, you knew right out the gate when he would dot a corner on one of his first pitches, and you're like, all right, lights out.
This one a tapper. Count goes to 2-2.
That was that was better location there, down and in, very bottom of the zone.
The 2-2 pitch in to Apodaca. Swing and a miss. Taps the man, and that's a huge out from Hasty.
And you really set him up with that last pitch because you get that location down and in, and then the next pitch, it looks like it's going to be the same thing, and then it just wipes out, down and away, gets the K.
As you see it, you see where it started and then just dropping off a shelf. And the number 3 batter for this Missoula Paddlehead squad had no chance. And now it will be an intentional walk to Xavier Casarella. I was getting ready to set the stage for a 2 guys who were teammates for much of last season. Instead, it will be bases loaded after the intentional walk declared by the Range Riders. It is lefty on lefty, setting up Tyler Stone to come to the plate. What do you think of the call?
Well, I think in storylines, and the storyline of Casarella versus Hasty here is a lot.
This one, a tapper over to second, fielded by Beard, and luckily Stone not built with a ton of speed. We head to the 7th inning stretch as Hasty is able to get out of the jam. That's a little 20-25. Hasty, it's 4-1, Missoula. Welcome back. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. Glacier Range Riders currently trail the Missoula Paddleheads by a score of 4-1. 9-1-2. Kyle Ashworth, who is continuing his phenomenal start to this season.
Yeah, .554 on base percentage, but also impressively .326 batting average.
3-0-1. Misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. I mentioned it earlier today, but you were obviously not in the booth then. I mentioned Chad Castillo here. Former high school teammates with Chad Castillo, Kyle Ashworth. So there's 3 players that Chad Castillo, when I took him and his brother and their bachelor party, or his brother's bachelor party, on the tour through the clubhouse, which obviously Chad knows, but as that one was called a ball, count goes to 2-1. There was 3 guys, Jared Ingman, J.D. McLaughlin, and Connor Housley, who Chad played with, as that's another base knock up the middle by Kyle Ashworth. And then, in kind of the random other one, and I knew this because Chad told me this last year, but Kyle Ashworth, high school teammates with him. So kind of a cool thing where he got to say hi to him, too. First time seeing him in a while. As Ashworth, inspired seeing one of his older, because I believe Castillo is a year or 2 older than him. So probably a guy that he looked up to.
Yes.
And saw him earlier today, and right now putting on a show for him. 3 for 3 is a called strike. Hits McLaughlin's zone. 0-1, no outs. PK, bottom of the 7th. Let's get some baseball trivia in.
Okay. Oh, you haven't done it yet, huh?
I have not done it.
Wow.
I've been kind of forgetting to do baseball trivia, I'm going to be honest. The home games, there's just so much happening.
And it's not as fun if you don't have anybody to torture with it.
It is a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
This one's a Joe Girardi question. How much do you know about
Yankee,
Joe Girardi?
Yankee catcher and then manager, right?
As we get a reset.
Did I answer the question just then?
No.
That would have been incredible.
Yes, but you knew that he was a player. You knew that he was a catcher. Who did he start his career with? You honestly kind of answered my question that you probably don't know if you really weren't too confident in who he was. I mean, you were confident, but you didn't seem like you knew his whole encyclopedia.
Something that tells me Joe Girardi started with the St. Louis Cardinals organization.
Oof. Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Bottom of the 7th inning. Kyle Ashworth on first. You are in the right division.
Oh, interesting. I went that way because I believe that's where Joe Torre started also. And I think there's some, I thought there was some synchronicity there.
Some
but
Joe parallels.
Yeah.
1-2 pitch into McLaughlin. Outside, 2-2.
So that narrows it down to the Cubs. The modern version of the?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a total guess. I'm just going to go Cubs.
Cubs is correct.
Okay.
Little limbo act. And I thought the count was 2-2, but apparently it was ball 4. That's the second time. The first time that I lost count, I'm going to be honest, I think the umpires messed up. That was when there was some chirping going on in the early going.
Yes.
When Millen swung and missed, and I had it as strike 3, but it was actually said to be strike 2 by our home plate umpire, and the entire infield was saying, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That was strike 3. And the home plate umpire said, no, it isn't. Runners on first and second, no outs for Logan Beard, 1 for 3 Beard. And in a follow-up question that is unrelated.
Okay.
What team was Mark McGwire playing against when he broke the home run record?
Ooh, interesting. Whoa, that's interesting because he was playing. It was the Cubs.
It was also the Cubs.
Yes.
Well done. It's a twofer on the Cubs trivia tonight.
Yes, because that was the big scene where he and Sosa were in the rundown and they were on the same field together.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the first time I thought of simulation theory. It was just too good to be true. It's like, how can this be? Like, these two players who are breaking all these records at the same time are on the same field. I remember watching that game.
Ball low and away, 1 ball, no strikes, no outs. Ashworth on second, McLaughlin on first. Beard is 1 for 3 with a single. In the zone, 1-1. Quick conversation between one of the coaches. I don't know David Peterson or Easton Barnes, and they're both wearing sweatshirts, so I can't see their number. But a coach came out. It would usually be Michael Schlacht to have the conversation, but Schlacht not available after the ejection. Popped up. Will it stay in play? No. It will be a fan ball. One hop off the top of the dugout, and I thought that fan was going to go for it over the seats.
That would have been incredible. Yeah, also destructive.
It would have been painful. I'll tell you what, every time I have like a nosebleed seat at a Seahawks game or something like that, sometimes I sit up there and I look down and I have just nightmares of what happens if I stumble and fold myself up and, like a rag doll go down. 1-2, Tapper, foul.
I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who has that. Let me tell you, at the Turnpike Troubadours concert in March in Boise, it was at the Broncos Arena, not the...
Yes, the Boise State Extra Mile Arena. Yep.
Yes, and that was steep. That was the steepest upper deck in an arena I might have ever seen.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Got a piece of it deep in the hole. A chance for 2. The throw for 1, and they call it out over there. That one looked safe.
Oh, yeah, he's safe. Yeah, this is an advancement in the booth.
We're going to get a replay here.
Being able to see the replay, and for the most part, it's good. But occasionally, it's very painful, as it is right here where it looks to me like he's safe. Of course, I am paid by the Range Raiders, so there could be some degree of bias at play, but it was enough and close enough to get Todd Pratt out there, which is not a very common occurrence.
Todd Pratt has not been ejected from a contest as head man for the Range Riders, and here he continues that streak. The interesting thing in general about the ejections in the Pioneer League, and I kind of want it because I've never had it. I've seen Slack get ejected a couple times, and I've never had it, and I just would love for it to actually pay off, because usually when you eject a manager, it doesn't really matter that much. There's a couple key moments and decisions that they're not there to make as Millen sees a strike, but it's not like giving a red card in soccer where you are a man down, and that is a huge liability to deal with. And I just like it when ejections are actually more punishing than that. But in the Pioneer League, as there's a swing and a miss to make it 0-2, you cannot throw in the knockout round, which often it's a coach. If Jackson Murphy, who threw the knockout round to Jake Millen a few nights ago, if he got ejected, then that would hurt the Range Riders, and it would be a bench ejection that would hurt them if it came to a knockout round. Just a fun little subplot that we probably won't get to, but who knows? 4-1 scoreline.
You
ball up and in.
Will not goad me into talking about soccer. It was a noble effort, but I just can't do it.
Thursday night, which we'll both be on the call for in Billings before I leave you solo for the weekend. We're going to talk about soccer, I hope you know. Swing and a miss as Millen sent down on strikes, and the Range Riders for another time today score nothing from runners on first and second with no outs. We head to the 8th, 4-1 Missoula.
Numbness and tingling in the hand can make you lose your grip. Hi, I'm Dr. Nate Fogel. I'm an orthopedic surgeon and hand specialist here at Logan Health. Repetitive actions can lead to a condition called carpal tunnel. Left untreated, these symptoms can interfere with your daily life. Our fellowship-trained hand surgeons offer patient-specific care to help you regain control. Here's to getting a grip on life.
Welcome to Magoo & Company, a third-generation family-owned business nestled in the heart of downtown Whitefish. We offer a dazzling array of diamonds, ethically sourced Montana sapphires, and captivating custom designs that capture the essence of Montana's natural beauty. From jewelry design and appraisals to cleaning, repairs, and gemologist consulting, your satisfaction is our priority. Experience the magic of Magoo & Company and discover the perfect piece to celebrate life's special moments.
It's the top of the 8th inning. Range Riders will send Davis Pratt to the bump, down by a score of 4-1 here. Scott Gladstone, PK with you.
I'm learning some of the tech behind the scenes here, and I do have a logistical question. How did you know a countdown after the radio commercial stopped? You still had a 5-second countdown.
I got our buddy from Home Team Network.
Oh, that's
Christian,
right.
In my ear.
Christian.
Tell me.
Okay.
Christian's been with us the past 2 weeks. He's been on graphics and replay, doing a great job. Back at HTN.
Okay, perfect.
Shout out to our friends at HTN that are a big part of the reason why we're presenting all these games free on YouTube this year. 1 ball, no strikes, as Davis Pratt misses to Joscar Feliciano.
I forgot about the HTN in your ear because I don't get it in the other headset.
Yeah, I didn't. I could change it so you can hear, but
I don't want to. You guys have a good thing going on over there. I don't want to get in the middle of that.
We go way back.
Yeah.
Count goes to 2-0. Like I was saying, next Thursday is the opening day of the FIFA World Cup. So you are not going to get away.
Yeah.
I'm not talking soccer on that day. I apologize. I will be talking about the opening match that I believe, I don't know the timing.
How? How is that possible? You don't know the exact moment.
3 balls and 1 strike right now. Yeah, it will be done. And then there will be another game going on that I will update the fans on. South Korea and Czechia will be playing.
I remember when it was Czechia.
You probably remember when it was Czechoslovakia.
That's a little bit of a burn, but also accurate.
Ball 4 outside. Feliciano walks. Before my time, Czechoslovakia.
Listen, my whole thing on soccer, let me just get it over with. We heard it last season, is I just can't handle the flopping. You know, I told you, I went to a CONCACAF game, USA versus Puerto Rico, at the Seahawks Stadium. It was incredible. It was the first time I got to, shot USA in anger, for real, you know what I mean, with the crowd and everybody. It was amazing, and then a guy flopped, and I was out. I was like, this is so ridiculous.
Called strike, count goes to 0-1. The thing is there is that in every single sport. It's just more common in soccer.
It's just so blatant and garish, and they just don't even. That guy looks like he had his legs sawed off, and then he pops up and runs and boots the ball around, and it just drives me insane. I can't take it.
You went to a couple theater performances over the offseason.
That's true.
And you're telling me you don't like theater mixed with sports now? You like each of them.
They have that, and it's called wrestling.
It is WWE. Yes.
So I'm not against wrestling. That was the only thing on ESPN after school when I was a kid, so I at least knew of the characters involved, but it wasn't really my thing. So I just can't handle the flopping.
Foul ball. Count goes to 1-2. No outs. Top of the 8th inning. Do you get often asked the question, especially now that you're working in sports? Do you get asked the question when people find out what you do? Oh, so what's your favorite sport? Have you gotten that a lot? Because in my profession, I'm doing it for now, 5 years, professionally, doing in college, whatever. I've gotten a lot.
With your sport, with your profession though, it can differ.
Swing and a miss.
Your
strikeout of the number 7 batter, Leighton Berry, 1 gone, top of the 8th. Pratt punches him.
In your profession, your favorite sport to consume may not be your favorite sport to call.
Correct.
So that's a unique scenario where if I had to guess, your favorite sport to watch would be football, but your favorite sport to call is baseball.
When I get asked the question, what's your favorite sport? You can't ask me a question. It's like, I'm trying to.
You're trying to find a way to work in curling.
A nuclear physicist, like what their favorite chemical is. It's like, it's just not, you can't ask. It goes way deeper than that.
It's like asking me my favorite cloud or sunset scene, It's like there's so many.
1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. I ask back, if somebody asks what's my favorite sport, do you mean to watch, to broadcast, or to play? Because there's
a third distinction.
And they're all three different answers. This one hit to third, thrown by Rover. And to first, it is a 5-4-3 double play. Piatkowicz and Feliciano both go down. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. So we might talk more about our favorite sports. It is 4-1. The Missoula Paddleheads have the lead after this tremendous double play. Erases the leadoff walk. It's the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Range Riders coming up here needing runs. Right now, their lowest scoring output of the season potentially on the docket, as it will be Donovan Ratfield to lead it off.
I think we kind of raced through the fact that was great to see what we saw out of Hasty tonight.
Yes.
That's sort of a return to form. That's more what we saw.
Well, coming in, getting the clutch out, minimizing the damage. That's what the Range Riders needed to see out of Hasty, because when he can do that, he will appear a lot and help the Range Riders win a lot of games. Good to see that, for sure. They were even, and that's what I love from the Range Riders, is they were still confident in him, that they walked a batter. They put an extra batter on.
Yep.
And put it so that if he walked a batter, which he had done a lot in the past couple outings, there was no wiggle room to do that. And he, on the next pitch, got an out, boom, of a lefty. And so if you have a guy like that you can trust so much against fellow lefties, you're going to feel pretty good about your chances in the bullpen.
Yeah, he was just, I think they're obviously walks and the lack thereof in that outing compared to previous outings convey the point I'm about to make, but he was able to spot his pitches and really set hitters up the way he wanted to, which is something he was very, very good at last season.
Swing and a miss there by Ratfield. New pitcher into the contest is number 23, Garrett Gores. Gores is the only player on this Paddlehead squad who has not allowed a run, 1 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, and 1 strikeout. The product of Gonzaga University, originally from Spokane, hometown kid from the Bulldog. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch into Ratfield, kick and fire. Swing and a miss as he took down Ratfield for 1 away. Range Riders down to 5 outs remaining as Rover steps up. 2 doubles for Rover today. We're talking about our favorite sports, PK. I said I have different ones in terms of favorite to watch, favorite to broadcast, and favorite to play. And you said in the mid-inning break that you wanted to guess them. I will say I will accept 2 answers for favorite to play. It's kind of pretty close, but they're all different.
Okay.
1 out. Pitch going into Tommy Rover. Swung on down the first baseline, foul.
Man, we really do have the best view for fair or foul down the first base line. But to your point, I think having recently played this sport with you, I think your favorite to play was probably basketball, but it's close with football. If your team was good, I think it's more fun. I think that weighs pretty heavily in football because it is tough. But I'm going to say basketball to play.
Swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-2. Basketball is an accepted answer.
Okay. And then I would say favorite to call. Man, it's tough because I think it's going to be baseball, but I know you really have a good time calling volleyball.
Yeah, I do.
And so that kind of complicates matters.
Volleyball's fun.
And
For those who
softball.
haven't watched, like volleyball's, well, I would put baseball and softball.
Okay, just making sure.
And honestly, yeah, head to head. If I had to separate the two, softball might get the nod.
I remember that was the first time I heard you say, and she will watch it fly or fly at your home run call.
Swing and a miss. Count goes expired on Rover. A second strikeout of the inning by Gores. 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th. 4-1 Missoula.
I believe that was a UW women's softball game.
Montana.
It was a Montana softball game when you debuted it? Oh, I
don't know when I debuted it.
Oh, well,
I don't, roll something out. It just happens.
Oh, even better.
Guttural.
Better. Okay, so play, I'm saying basketball. Call, I'm saying baseball. Watch, I'm saying football.
3 for 3.
Boom. What was the other acceptable for play?
Soccer.
Really?
Goalkeeper for soccer. Yeah, I love it. Love it. It's awesome. Especially like futsal, like small goal soccer.
Yes.
So fun because I can't skate well enough to be a good hockey goalie, but it's kind of that same vibe where it's just like throwing yourself.
Yes.
There's a ball. Count goes to 2-0, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Missoula leads 4-1.
I played goalie in a Coast Guard rec soccer league. We were not good, and it was a blast, even though we were terrible.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, full field soccer as a goalie, especially because if your team's good, you're bored out of your mind.
Right. That's what made it exciting.
Yeah. Futsal, yeah. I mean, you would have, if your team was not good, you would have been busy. And they usually wouldn't have blamed you.
Right.
Because you're just getting peppered, and you're usually saving it from being even worse when you're on a bad team. It's kind of fun to be a goalie on a bad team.
It is.
If you're not horrible, I guess.
You get a lot of opportunities to make incredible diving saves, and then they forget.
1 out of 10,
bingo.
Then they remember the 1.
Yes, and they forget, like, oh, I did let up 7.
Yeah. It's kind of like a quarterback in football where you can blame the O-line half the time. There's a lot of O-line scapegoating out there, and I'm not a big fan of it. As a former offensive lineman. It's 2-out walk issued to Jacob Steele. Up comes Edric Felix, fresh off a single into center field.
Last time Edric was up, it was while I was over there on the scorekeeping, not on the mic. Lauren was there. And I wanted to point out, like, if you should go to our Facebook page and see the photos of Edric during the camp this morning. Just fantastic. He was having the time of his life. He was so welcoming, and the images are great.
Called strike. Count goes to 0-1. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier in this contest when he came up, that he was the star of the show because you could just tell how much he enjoyed it, how much he enjoys interacting with people. Such a fun guy to be around.
Yeah.
0-1, 2-out pitch with Steele on first. Swing and a miss. Real fun if he was able to connect with one here, but he's in the hole 0-2 to Garrett Gores, who has not allowed an earned run this season. Felix 1 for 3. 0-2. 2-out pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning as Gores tries to strike out the side. Steele on first, pitch it. Bluff the bat.
No
Our home plate umpire didn't need to ask. Oscar Feliciano, the catcher, did not ask. Our home plate umpire decided, hey, you sure you didn't go? We all did.
The risk is that the guy is not paying attention, which does happen occasionally, and he just rings him up because he's like, oh, goodness, if he throws it to me without the catcher asking, he must have gone.
Yeah. 1-2. Swing and a miss. We head to the 9th. Range Riders trailing 4-1. Welcome back. Top of the ninth inning. Scott Gladstone and Patrick Kelly with you to close this baby out. We're getting PK ready to join us back on the road and make a cameo week. Well, cameo week and then become a star of the show.
No, I'm a
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
A sidekick, you know, a good sidekick.
A little spin-off series for the weekend.
Yeah,
Call
it's
it that.
Better Call Saul.
Alex Bustamante is into the contest. Bustamante takes over after a scoreless frame thrown by Pratt, a called ball. Up and away to Kazuski. It's 9-1 and 2 up Kazuski, Bermudez, and Klemp, and that one's called a ball as well. Count goes to 2-0 on Kazuski, who's 0 for 1.
I'm very excited about the opportunity. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I loved being the color guy last year. It was a childhood dream, honestly, to be able to do that.
Tapper off the foot of Kazuski, 2-1.
And I've been going back and listening to some of the history, the evolution of broadcasting. And have you ever heard of the recreators? In the early days, the way they actually called a game was they would get the ticker tape and they would pretend to be at the game, and they would have sound effects and they would have all kinds of things, but they're really just reading the telegram.
There's a called strike, 2-2.
And there was one instance of a broadcaster, I don't remember who it was. It was very, very early days, reading the telegram, and the telegram machine froze. And so he just kept pretending that it was a foul ball. It was a foul ball. It was a foul ball because it was the last out. And then finally the ticker tape came back to life after like an unbelievable amount of foul balls, and it turned out it was just an out the second, and the game was over. And so he acted like it happened naturally. So the recreator era is long gone. But I'm excited to be like a little tiny part of the sort of the history of broadcasting in some little tiny fashion. I'm very excited about that, and it really is an honor.
Bustamante walks Kazuski to lead off the inning as last chance for insurance from the Paddleheads. It is 8-9 and 1 due up in the form of Sauger, Ashworth, and McLaughlin.
Thought we might get a little spark with a 2-out walk there. That would have been a perfect time for a 2-out rally. Much needed. And then it was set up to have Felix, who's so root-forable, as I like to say, and it just didn't work out.
1 ball, no strikes. This series, you take yesterday's game, as that one's called a strike, and this game so far, it's had a weird feeling to it because this Paddlehead squad is not. Give them credit for winning.
Yep.
Last night's game and leading right now, but they are not the fearsome squad that made their way in with the three-headed monster of Rosario, Fogel, and Pena.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, where I was just like, every time you go through that trio, you hold your breath.
Yep.
It's not the same. They're much more kind of split around, figuring out who's going to be the star of the squad. Casarell has been one of their best players, and he hasn't done anything tonight other than be intentionally walked. And as the runner's going, a foul ball keeps it at 1 and 2. So it's this Missoula squad that doesn't blow you away, not yet.
Yeah.
But it's a Range Rider squad that has had some blow-away moments.
Oh, yeah.
That right now has looked, especially today, out of sort offensively, completely just not taking advantage of opportunities, not walking as much as they did. Missoula's come up with a good strategy to attack them, and it's worked to the tune of a late lead in game 2 and a win in game 1.
I think last night was sort of easier to digest.
Runner's going again. It's another foul.
Because they lost the game on 1 bad inning, realistically. It was 1 bad inning, and you're going to have those occasionally. We saw it in Billings, where they had 1 bad inning, where everybody decided, the way you put it was everybody had their error of the week all at the same time, and they had 1 bad inning. And then they responded the next day and got out of there with a W on Sunday. This one has been different because the bats have just not been what we have seen at all.
The Range Riders have not lost consecutive games this season and are on the brink of that possibility, if not for a bottom of the 9th inning rally. We do have some good news, and that is Boise beat Missoula, beat Billings.
Okay, that is a relief.
12-6. So finally the Mustangs win streak stops. Unfortunately, the Red Pocket Mobiles do still exist in their current state, and they lost again to the Long Beach Coast.
That was Such an incendiary way to put that. Their mere existence is a state of disappointment. That is tough.
Right now, it feels like free wins for the opponent of the Red Pocket Moguls. It's a close one, 8-7, but they are finding an astounding way to lose in every different way. Speaking of that, it's the top of the ninth in Oakland. They had a lead midway through the contest, and it's 12-12 now.
Oh.
Ball 4, it's a second straight walk, well earned by Bermudez.
You're not going to find me rooting for Oakland. You know what I'm saying? It's just not really. That last year was tough on us against the Ballers, and so it was great to see the way we performed this time. But they have had a string of very difficult losses in the midst of a pretty tough trip.
That scoreline in Great Falls was at 1 point, 12-4, Oakland.
Oh,
It
wow.
is now 12-12. Called strike. Count goes to 0-1. They allowed a 6-run bottom of the 8th to tie it.
Brutal.
And there is now 2 outs in the top of the ninth. They do have a runner on second. But they are at the hands of best case scenario going to a knockout round. This one hit towards second, and it's fumbled by Steele.
It looked like Steele was trying to decide if he was going to third with that and was going to have to make a quick transition, and it just got up on his chest and bounced off and back to the ground. So unable to make a play anywhere in the end.
An E6 will load him up with no outs. Infield's in. PK, your favorite?
It's so stressful. I texted you that last night while I was down in the third base well, and I just texted infield in. It's always so stressful. And then a little blue goes out into right. And I said, that's why. It's because the play that would normally be made leads to multiple runs. It's the right play. You know, you got to have the infield in. It's the right call managerially. But it's so stressful when you see it because if it just squeaks through, a little dribbler squeaks through one of those gaps, and it's massive trouble.
First pitch missed up and away. Count goes to 1-0. And now it's 2-0. 2 walks to start the inning. And an error, as this has been anything but a clean ninth. 4-1 Paddlehead. Paddlehead's in front. And it's 3-0, a ball away from walking a runner home.
That was 94, but missed very low.
3 balls, no strikes, no outs, top of the ninth inning. Get me over pitch, hits the zone.
Technically, a little below.
Called a strike by our home plate umpire. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
3-1, pitch in. Swung on out to left field. Moving in, making the catch on the run. The throw will come in and be off target to the home plate. Sacrifice fly scores Kazuski. And it is 5-1 Missoula.
Yeah, that was kind of a strange looking play by Millen. It didn't look like he got his best throw on that one, and it was a little offline as well. But the run is able to come across.
Yeah, he kind of had to catch that in the awkward spot of like it was glove up instead of catching it overhand and then being able to transition closely and get not a full sellout throw, but at least a little bit more into it, where when you catch it palm up, it's just more awkward to then go into that throwing motion. Swing and a miss by Casarella, former Range Rider. 0 for 3 today is Xavier Casarella. Only time reaching base was that intentional walk. The 0-1, 1 out. In the zone, it's 0-2. I'm watching this Oakland Ballers Voyagers game because I'll tell you what, we had a lot of tough bus rides last year, but the last 2 nights for Oakland and this night, if they do not win, I cannot imagine a bus that will be
more down.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even classify it as down. I don't even know what I would call it.
Morose.
Just, you know, I would make sure to count everybody, make sure they're on the bus and not just in a frozen state in the locker room.
Just walked into the river there.
The end of Avengers Infinity War, just, you know, they lose this game, it will be like the snap, and a couple guys might just dissipate. Like, I'm telling you, it's a long season, and a losing streak of a couple games isn't going to kill you, but the way that their body language was, the way they looked in the sweep that Glacier had over there was brutal.
You didn't react to morose, so I double doubted it, so I had to look it up. And
I think it was correct.
It is. Someone who is sullen, gloomy, and ill-tempered.
I know. It was good work. It made sense. It was so well placed that I didn't need to react to it.
Okay, it made me question everything.
This one hit towards second. Steele flips for one. The throw for two is in time. A 6-4-3 double play. And just one across in the top of the ninth. And due to the error, it might end up unearned on Bustamante. We head to the bottom of the ninth. It is 5-1 Missoula. As you take a look back one more time at that clean 6-4-3 double play. Steele to Beard to Fields.
Thinking about where to host your next office event? Book the indoor event space at Glacier Bank Park. With a capacity up to 145 people, our indoor event space is a flexible, year-round venue ideal for accommodating receptions, conferences, and holiday parties. The spacious layout boasts impressive stadium and mountain views, providing the perfect setting for guests to mingle, network, and celebrate. Book your office party today at glacierbankpark.com.
When injuries occur, it can feel like your goals are out of reach. I'm Dr. Karen Purser, an orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist at Logan Health. If you injure a joint, muscle, or bone, our orthopedics and sports medicine specialists are here to help. Our highly specialized surgeons, clinicians, and physical therapists offer innovative treatments and the latest minimally invasive procedures to help you recover and return to activity faster and stronger so that you can reach your goal.
Welcome to Magoo & Company, a third-generation family-owned business nestled in the heart of downtown Whitefish. We offer a dazzling array of diamonds, ethically sourced Montana sapphires, and captivating custom designs that capture the essence of Montana's natural beauty. From jewelry design and appraisals to cleaning, repairs, and gemologist consulting, your satisfaction is our priority. Experience the magic of Magoo & Company and discover the perfect piece to celebrate life's special moments.
Welcome back. Bottom of the ninth inning. Range Riders trailing by a score of 5-1 for the third straight night. They will enter the ninth inning. The bottom of the ninth, down by 4.
Yeah, I was going to say we got them right where we want them.
1-1 in these such instances over the past 2 nights.
Yeah.
How many times can a team come back down 4 in the bottom of the ninth to win? Range Riders have done it twice in the past 365 days, so at least twice.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's always a chance in baseball.
That's
what
right.
Makes it such a fun game. Got to get 3 outs. New pitcher in is the closer for this Paddlehead squad, Dylan Cheely, who sees the pitch low and away. Each squad has 1 challenge remaining. Go ahead.
You got to have something weird happen. Something weird for a 4-run inning.
Yeah.
In this kind of a situation, something weird's got to happen. You got to have a funny bounce, or somebody drops a ball that they 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 would catch.
Or 2 guys do in a row.
Or they do it consecutively.
3 balls, no strikes. Pinch hitter, by the way, is Drew Collins stepping in place of Julian Sauger. Call a strike. Count goes to 3-1 for Drew Collins, who has a pretty good clip thus far. He's second on the team with a .333 batting average. And he gets on base with the leadoff walk.
Okay, that's one of those things you like to see if you're in this position, because as we've said a million times on the broadcast, a leadoff walk when you're trying to close one out can often lead to some weirdness.
It certainly can. Seen it happen before. Leadoff walk in the top of this inning ended up turning into a run against Alex Bustamante. Leadoff walk issued 2 innings ago, also turned into a run. Count goes to 1-0 as that one misses versus Kyle Ashworth, who is on a great night right now. 3 singles, 3 for 3 on base percentage and batting average. Going to skyrocket once again.
Yeah.
One of the top in the league.
The last time at the plate, he took a pitch up and in and just drove it right back up the middle. Didn't try to do too much with it.
Called strike, 1-1.
You would happily take that and this AB.
Official attendance. 1878, 1,878 folks making their way to Glacier Bank Park tonight. Obviously tomorrow, really excited for that Toy Story Day. Should be popping at the ballpark. A ball down low, count goes to 2-1 again. Both teams have 1 challenge remaining. So anything close could entice a tap of the helmet from either side. There's a called ball. It is 3-1 for Kyle Ashworth.
The previous pitch missed pretty high. That one missed even higher.
Cheely feeling a little pressure right now. He certainly will, as he is a Florida Gulf Coast product, just like Edric Felix is. Called strike and the count's full. Originally from Fort Lewis, Washington, which I brought up earlier today as well, because I was talking about Jared Ingman playing for Tacoma Community College, which is just north of JBLM, Joint Base Lewis McCourt. It is ball 4. Upstairs by just a hair. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't see a challenge.
It's a great take because the strike that was called up in the zone a couple of pitches ago just caught the top of the zone. This one was a little bit more distant, but having seen the other one called a strike, that's a tough one to lay off of.
Fastball at 90 from Cheely that missed. And the Ballers, they got some magic in the tank. A 2-run top of the 9th.
Not dead yet. They're still hanging in there.
They are on a tough slide right now. The defending champion Oakland Ballers. That's why we're following that score line. They have lost 4 in a row after a sweep from the Range Riders and blowing a 10-run lead last night in Oakland. They blew just about as high of a lead today. Long Beach Coast, by the way, have now won 11 in a row. First pitch downstairs to J.D. McLaughlin, and a conversation coming. No Michael Schlacht available, and it probably doesn't make that much of a difference. Like, it's probably, it could be overdone how we talk about it in general. But it's got to matter a little bit when the guy that you're so used to being your pitching coach is not the guy coming out there. A guy that's less experienced to do it has to walk out there and talk to you. Other than Michael Schlacht, who was a pitcher himself in the minor leagues for a long time and has won 343 games as manager of the Paddleheads.
It was a very quick visit.
Yeah. It's always fun to think about what goes on in those visits, because sometimes you can hear it in an empty stadium. And it's a fun little insight. 1-0 pitch into J.D. McLaughlin, who sees a called strike.
92 down and in, very well located right on the corner.
I think he might have just come out there and said, just those strikes, and walked away.
I think that is what may have occurred.
1 ball, 1 strike. This one hit towards third. Casarella will chase the runner Collins out of the base path.
That actually may have been kind of a favor to the Range Riders, regardless of if the call was correct or not, that he was out of the baseline, because he may have had the opportunity to pop up and turn 2 there.
Yeah. I think he might have scraped the chest anyway. It's the fielder's choice, unassisted at third base, which is the 3rd time we've had that today, which
kind of odd.
We almost had it. We had twice in an inning. Logan Beard sees that one skip in. But yeah, you are correct. It felt like it should be 2.
Yeah.
And Casarella, who played with J.D. McLaughlin last year, well aware of how fast J.D. is, so maybe just said, let's get the lead runner, which doesn't really matter. And outs and out, you'd rather get more outs than the lead out, because you can allow that lead runner to score and it won't matter in the big scheme of things. 1-0 pitch into Logan Beard. Pitch misses inside.
I believe it was at Missoula, but it was against the Paddleheads, obviously. When Logan Beard had his first, was it his first home run? He had an amazing series, but a critical home run in one of those games that turned the tide.
In the 9th inning. It was a tie game. He had a 3-run blast. I think it was the first game of the series.
Yes.
The first time these two squads played last year.
This would
It was either on Tuesday or Wednesday.
This would be a great time to recreate that moment, that kind of energy right here.
Yep. 3 balls, no strikes. A ball will load him up and bring the tying run to the plate. That's a strike, and Beard could have challenged to walk. An expanded strike zone on 3-0, and will that change this game?
That's exactly where the pitch was that Ashworth walked on.
The 3-1 pitch. It's ball 4, and like we've seen a couple times today for both sides, ball don't lie. It is bases loaded, tying run to the plate in the man who has the tied for the most home runs for the Glacier Range Riders. Jake Millen. Is there more Millen magic at Glacier Bank Park?
Well, he was the hero of the night just 2 nights ago, and that's going to be it for the pitcher. I respect the quick boos from the crowd.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the Range Riders 2 nights ago trailed by 4 going into the bottom of the 9th inning. They came back and won that game, thanks to some miscues from Oakland, but it doesn't matter. They came back to win in the end in Millen's knockout round victory. It was last night they came in trailing by 4 as well, and they brought the tying run on deck, so they did not roll over. And I'll tell you what, we saw a lot of 9th innings last year where it felt like 3 up, 3 down, and you knew from the first batter that the inning was over. But here, instead, you see a pinch hit walk by Drew Collins, another walk, McLaughlin grounds into a fielder's choice, avoids the double play, and then another walk by this Range Rider squad that has been so good at earning the free passes. And now the tension is sky high for Mark Timmons, one of the more trusted Missoula Paddlehead arms, to inherit this bases loaded situation. He will get a save if he's able to win this contest for Missoula.
Just 6 innings pitched for Timmons so far. ERA at exactly 3. He's allowed 7 hits in those 6 innings. He's allowed 2 runs, both earned. He has 6 walks in 6 innings against 4 strikeouts. Batting average against of 350. So not overwhelming numbers, respectable numbers, but we'll see how it goes.
Range Riders in total this season with the bases loaded, they are 15 for 44. That is an absurd number to have 44 opportunities with the bases loaded, because their opponents have had 20, less than half. And we're only 16 games of the way through this season. Opponents with the bases loaded are 10 for 20, 500. That's a number that's too high.
Yeah.
But the Range Riders are 15 for 44. They are batting .341 with the bases loaded. 1 grand slam this year is off the bat of Jacob Steele, who could possibly come up this inning. And Jake Millen himself, with the bases loaded, is 2 for 4.
Well, you'd like to see that. It's one of those scenarios where you're thinking put it in the air first, because even if you don't get it out of here, there's the possibility of the sacrifice at third and then the next batter, hopefully, driving in the rest.
Ball missing downstairs from Mark Timmons. Timmons, you mentioned his stats. He is a 3rd-year Missoula Paddlehead, signed briefly by the Angels organization in his first season before being released and coming back to Missoula. 1 ball, no strike, 1 out. In the zone, 1-1.
Middle, 87. That was dead center.
Timmons had a major injury, I believe, last year to his Achilles, but is coming back and has adapted his style of play, how he pitches, to continue having success on the mound, and now just trying to finish out this season, have this season in Missoula, and to be a successful one. That one gets by, and it will score a run. Maybe more crucially, it takes a double play off the table.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't say it in my preamble about you'd love to get it in the air. The thing I was hinting at without saying it is if you get it in the air, you avoid the double play, and that is huge, that pass ball. 88 miles an hour, that's the fastest pitch he's thrown, but just couldn't be wrangled.
5-2 the score line. Now 2 in scoring position. Base knock could make it a 1-run game with Beard on second, McLaughlin on third. The 3-1 pitch. Outside, Millen walked. And the tying run is on base in the bottom of the 9th inning, and it's Jake Millen, who famously, in the first 4-run comeback against the Billings Mustangs, the first ever 4-run comeback in the 9th inning by the Range Riders, he scored from first on a JT Mabry double that won the game for the Range Riders and finished off a 4-run comeback. 5-2 scoreline, bases loaded for Donovan Ratfield. Called a strike right on the inner cut. Count goes to 0-1.
It missed, and it's the closest miss he's had. Most of these pitches have been, as you would say, non-competitive, except for the one that was middle. That one was closer to the edge. Called a strike, was a ball.
Challenge would have overturned it. 0-1 pitch. Swung on to left field, and it's through for a base knock. Stop sign at third base. We play ring around the rosy and flip the bat to Tommy Rover, tying run at second in the bottom of the 9th.
That pitch was 77 miles an hour, down and away, and he's still able to get around on it enough to loop it into left to drive in a run, and they close the gap even more.
You think in that situation, because a home run wins it, you think that he might swing super hard for it. But I love Ratfield having a pro approach and just saying, don't get out.
Smart swing.
Tommy Rover, 2 for 4 with 2 doubles today. Steps to the plate. Called strike, Ratfield on first. That's another pitch on an expanded strike zone by our home plate umpire, who's ready to get out of here.
Same exact ball that was called a strike earlier.
0-1, 1-out pitch. Millen, the tying run on second base. Foul ball. Count goes to 0-2. Tommy Rover with the bases loaded this season. He's 2 for 4.
Down and in at 88, and it would have been a strike. Just couldn't hang back and yanks it foul.
5-3 the scoreline. Beard on third, Millen on second, Ratfield on first. The 0-1, or the 0-2, excuse me. Foul ball, just got a piece of it.
That one missed down and away, so he went down and in on him and then down and away with a breaking pitch, and he's able to just get a piece of it.
The 0-2, 1-out pitch, bottom of the 9th inning with the bases loaded. Timmons to Rover. Lifted foul again.
That's a good cut. It was a ball, but it's been called a strike twice in the last 2 at-bats.
You gotta hope that he would challenge it if he gets punched out on anything close.
Yes.
0-2. 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Beard on third, Millen on second, Ratfield on first. Time taken by Todd Pratt here. Maybe a chance to ice the pitcher a little bit. And I'll tell you what, there might be an option to bring in a pinch runner, and they do with Will Maynard, who's coming out of the dugout. Will Maynard and Aiden Elfring both have some position playing experience, I believe. And so Maynard will head to run the bases over there. A little bit more raw speed than Ratfield is what they're thinking. And you can also work out a moment to ice and leave Timmons out there a little bit longer. The 0-2. Swing and a miss.
And that pitch was pretty far off the plate, down and away. And I was going to say, it's also an opportunity to sort of reset Tommy Rover, because he was locked in, kind of swinging at anything if it was close, and didn't pay off there. Typically, you'll see the zone get expanded if you think a batter's doing that, and that's exactly what happened.
Jacob Steele, no player on the Range Rider lineup has had more bases loaded opportunities than him. He is 4 for 9 with a grand slam. First pitch over the plate. Count goes to 0-1. Range Rider, no matter how this inning ends, you see the fight late in this contest, but can they find some magic with Jacob Steele to the plate? 1 for 2 today. The 0-1, 2-out pitch. Swing and a miss, and the Range Riders down to their last strike now.
That's two interesting pitches. He just lobbed one in there at 78, pretty much middle, and then comes back with high and 88. It's tough to make the adjustment.
0-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. Timmons to fire to Jacob Steele. Upstairs and in, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Both teams again have a challenge. We saw the game end on a successful strike challenge by the Paddleheads. 1 ball and 2 strikes now into the Range Riders shortstop. Low and away. Good block behind the plate to just make sure he grabbed that one.
He went low and away to start the AB, and then high 88, 2 pitches in a row, and then right back to low and away at 79.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded for Steele. Timmons to Jacob Steele. It is a called strike 3, and Steele does not challenge. He does ask for one just in case. And that does finish it. It is confirmed a strike. Range Riders strand the tying run and the winning run on the bases with 2 punch outs by Timmons to finish it. We will head to the post-game show. Range Riders fall 5-3. Welcome back. Scott Gladstone, Patrick Kelly with you to wrap this baby up from Glacier Bank Park. Range Riders make it exciting in the 9th. The 3rd straight night they trail by 4, and the 3rd straight night that they have given it everything they could. 2 nights ago, they ended up winning thanks to a crazy comeback. Last night, they stranded the tying run in the on-deck circle, and tonight it was on second base in scoring position. The winning run gets stranded. PK, what were your thoughts on this one? I know you were all over the stadium. Thanks for joining me and getting reacclimated to the booth a little bit further with these final couple innings of calling the game due to the fact that you'll be in the booth plenty over the next week. But just what were your thoughts from what you saw?
Well, one huge takeaway for me was Jacob Hasty looked good. That was important. He's going to be a very important piece out of the pen. So that was heartening. And the other thing that we just didn't see very much of last season, if we went into especially late in the season, if we went into the 9th down 4, it was unlikely that we were going to see even a threat to make it interesting. And so it's good to see that, as you mentioned, 2 nights in a row, we've had, well, 3 nights in a row now. We've gone into the 9th down 4. Last night, or the night before, won it in the knockout round. Last night, ended up with the tying run at the plate, right?
I think on deck.
Or on deck, okay. And then tonight, winning run was on base, so they were able to rally, show some fight. It is the I believe this is the first time they've lost back-to-back games, and it would be because it's a short series, which is annoying. Yeah. It's technically their first series loss of the season, and it's annoying that it comes to the Paddleheads, from the Paddleheads for one, but also in the form of a 3-game series where it feels like, hey, we should have gotten a few more to get a crack at winning this series.
Garza gets the win for the Paddleheads. He pitched 3 innings out of relief, all scoreless, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Canada gets the loss despite the 2 runs against him being unearned, and he had 1 strikeout in his 3 innings of work. Timmins will get the 2-out save to finish it. We'll be right back. One more quick break and go around the league scoreboard.
Need a space that offers both a place to dine and an area to mingle in style? Book the Hideaway and Corner Suite at Glacier Bank Park. You and up to 50 guests will enjoy full catering services in the Hideaway, and incredible mountain views and comfortable furnishings in the luxury Corner Suite. This versatile combination offers a space to dine and a place to relax, creating the perfect arrangement for guests looking to mingle, network, and celebrate. Book your office party today at glacierbankpark.com.
Numbness and tingling in the hand can make you lose your grip. Hi, I'm Dr. Nate Fogel. I'm an orthopedic surgeon and hand specialist here at Logan Health. Repetitive actions can lead to a condition called carpal tunnel. Left untreated, these symptoms can interfere with your daily life. Our fellowship-trained hand surgeons offer patient-specific care to help you regain control. Here's to getting a grip on life.
Welcome back. Scott Gladstone, Patrick Kelly with you in the booth. We'll go over the scoreboard around the league real quick. The Ballers did survive. They are back in the win column after an exciting 9th inning where they just eked out, blowing a huge lead, really. Long Beach wins their 11th straight game, 8-7. Ballers, that final score was 14-12. Boise takes down Billings, 12-6. That's good because Billings was in runaway first place, and they were on a long winning streak. The Range Riders like to see those guys get knocked a little bit from the hot streak they were on. Ogden leads Idaho Falls. What's new? The Chuckers are trailing. They are on the verge of going to 1-15 on the year, while Yuba and Modesto are going to the knockout round. So TBD on that one.
So Red Pocket is not technically last.
They are, because Idaho Falls has played 1 less game than them. There was a rain out against Billings.
So by a few percentage points.
Yeah, right now Red Pocket Mobile is 1-16. Idaho Falls is 1-15. But Idaho Falls does have a home ballpark.
So just that's the tiebreaker. Yeah. Do you have?
I mean, I think that's the tiebreaker of your last place. If you're 1-15 with a home ballpark, you're in last. You're dead last. I don't care. If there's a team 0-16, that's a couple games down.
Yeah.
Because you should be performing better with a home ballpark than if you're playing every game on the road.
Yeah, what a brutal go of things for the Red Pocket Mobiles. And it's honestly, it's stunning. The Chuckers were in the championship last season. That's a much different team. Much different team.
Les Lancaster, former Colorado Springs Rocky Mountain Vibes manager, took over there as Troy Percival fled town to Long Beach, where he's on an 11-game win streak and feeling a lot different than Idaho Falls is.
Yeah, he took quite a few players.
And he also took the players on the championship squad that were worth taking.
Yeah.
So, that kind of writes the script for what's happening in Idaho Falls. There's certainly some soul-searching to do at Melaleuca Field. Same with the Range Riders right here, who are facing a losing streak for the first time on the season. But make sure to head back to the ballpark. Tomorrow we got Toy Story Day. Celebrate Woody, Buzz, the entire gang. Toy Story 5 coming out this month. Should be a blast. Any closing thoughts, BK?
Well, it started with the conflicted feelings, seeing the Paddleheads and the Range Riders together for a good cause with the play ball weekend and great times, great vibes, lots of smiles. And then it didn't take long to return to the typical angst surrounding the Paddleheads with a loss that felt like we were going to capture the magic and get that ninth inning that we had the other night, you know, something along those lines. And instead, it just does not come to fruition. And so I'm right back to where I was before play ball weekend with my level of angst against the Paddleheads.
Anti-Paddlehead sentiment.
Yes, and look, the thing that'll probably put it over the top for me is I bet they wear the paintball uniform tomorrow.
We see the paintball tie-dye unis.
It's just too much.
Everybody hold PK back.
Although I guess it does kind of make sense on Toy Story Day, you know, just.
It could.
I don't know. It's not good.
Well, we'll see how the Range Riders come out after a cantankerous evening between the Paddleheads and the Range Riders that involved an ejection and plenty of debate.
I was going to say, cantankerous. Michael Slack.
Yeah.
That would have been the perfect placement for that. Yeah.
It was a cantankerous moment
Yeah.
for sure. We head home on the day. Range Riders fall to 12-5. Missoula will lift themselves to double-digit wins. They are 10-7. For all of us here at the Glacier Range Riders, including our crew of Ryan and Janelle, as well as Vicky that heads up the room over there. Lauren is our sideline reporter. Zach is on camera, putting his body on the line for the program. And I think I said Lauren Hill, our sideline reporter. And alongside me, Patrick Kelly, PK. For everybody here at the Glacier Range Riders, my name is Scott Gladstone. Please have a great rest of your evening and stay safe out there. Range Riders fall 5-3.
I guess you don't take these with you?